You're watching Capital One Bowl Mania.
You unlock this bowl with the key of commotion. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of taste.
Take a dip.
A dimension of twang.
It's actually pretty good.
A dimension of tweets. You're moving into a land of both Mayo and mayhem.
What are we doing? Come on, donuts?
Of coaches and condiments.
It's a little heavy for sure. I'm weighted down here in the back, I feel like, but mayonnaise has never felt so good, I can promise you.
You've just crossed over into the Mayo Bowl.
This truly is the Duke of all bowl games. Welcome to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, a part of Capital One Bowl Mania. An old conference rivalry renews amidst the glow and glimmer of magnificent mayonnaise. Maryland and NC State facing off for the first time since the Terps left the ACC for the Big Ten. And with that, we say good afternoon to Anish Shroff, Brock Osweiler, Andrea Carter. From 1956 to 2013, NC State and Maryland played every year, have not played since, so that could create maybe an awkward dynamic, which this bowl invites.
You mean an awkward dynamic like Maryland crab cakes meets North Carolina barbecue, grab a little mayo, mix it all up, and have a football game? Awkwardness aside, I am so excited for this matchup. I think this is two very quality football teams that are coached by two tremendous head coaches. They play a disciplined brand of football. You have a potential NFL quarterback going against a championship level defense. Should be a lot of fun today.
Let's open the jar. We start with Maryland. They started 6-2. The two losses were both close losses. The Terps had one of the best receiving corps in the entire country, but 4 of their top 7 pass catchers will not play in this game. 3 opt-outs, 1 transfer. What they do have, Taulia Tagovailoa, one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and he is so much more than just to his younger brother.
He certainly is. Taulia is a treat to watch. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, like you touched on. Holds school records for touchdowns, for yards, 12 300-yard career games. After this football game, he's going to sit down with his family and consider leaving for the NFL draft. I cannot wait to watch him compete against the vaunted NC State defense today.
The Wolfpack came into this season with great expectations. They had their highest preseason ranking since 1975. Then injuries hit hard, especially hitting the quarterback room. NC State needed 4 different starting quarterbacks to get through the season. ACC preseason player of the year Devin Leary suffered a season-ending injury in October, but this Wolfpack team rode its defense, one of the best in the ACC, one of the best in the country, and the heartbeat of that unit, the linebackers.
They really are. Peyton Wilson, Isaiah Moore, and Drake Thomas, those 3 have a combined 114 career starts at NC State. This unit also has behind them the ACC Secondary of the Year that had 17 interceptions, good for 6th in the nation. I tell you what, it's going to be a treat of a matchup. This defense versus Taulia Tagovailoa.
Tubby is ready. The mayonnaise jar has been opened, and we're ready for a bowl game with a little twang. Maryland and NC State getting ready for kickoff. The Wolfpack won the toss, elected to defer, and Maryland, led by Mike Loxley, will receive. Colin Smith to kick it away. Octavian Smith Jr. waits at the goal line for the Terps. And we say hello to Andrea Carter.
Thank you, Anish. Well, listen, for just the second time ever after the Duke's Mayo Trophy is given to the winning team, the winning head coach is going to be doused in mayo. We saw Shane Beamer be the first recipient of the Mayo bath. This was last season, and as he said, mayonnaise never felt so good. And this season's coaches, they know what's coming. NC State head coach Dave Doran made it clear he is not a fan of mayonnaise. And Maryland's head coach Mike Loxley, he said he's not looking forward to the Mayo bath, but both coaches will do whatever it takes to get the win. And I will say, Coach Loxley does plan on wearing this big hat if he gets the Mayo bath. How do we feel about the big hat, guys? Is it cheating or does this count?
It's hedging. That's what it is, as Roman Hemby gets the carry on first down. And interestingly enough, Billy Edwards, who played meaningful snaps, started a game, came off the bench, won the Indiana game for Maryland. He gets the start at quarterback. We were told before the game he and Taulia Tagovailoa would both play, and it's Edwards coming out first. And the give is to Roman Hemby, who makes his way to the 31-yard line, the redshirt freshman, third amongst FBS freshmen in yards from scrimmage. And one more note on Andrea's hit. She said, Dave Doran does not like mayonnaise. I believe the moment she said that, NC State just became America's team.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun shenanigans with Mayo today. But I tell you what, having the backup quarterback start for Maryland today cannot be a surprise. Michael Locksley wants to reward his young players for the great bowl practices and preparation they've had this month.
Pressure coming. Edwards gets rid of it, completes. It's Jayshon Jones. Pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. You think of the receivers that are not playing for Maryland. Rakim Jarrett, Copeland, Dante Demas. Jones is coming back, and he's coming off his best game.
He certainly is, and he's the leader of this unit. He had a tremendous season, the leading receiver for the Terrapins. But right there, Billy Edwards just doing a tremendous job of taking advantage of Tony Gibson, defensive coordinator for NC State, and his aggressive nature. NC State brought pressure. Billy Edwards found the hole with Jayshon Jones over the middle.
Hemby gets the call again and crawls to the 22-yard line, a pickup of 3. Billy Edwards, a redshirt freshman from Burke, Virginia, began his career in the ACC at Wake Forest, and he presents a dual threat. He can do it with his arm and also very slippery and physical with his feet.
He certainly can. Billy Edwards is a great dual threat quarterback. We actually got to see him play live when he came in for Talia's injury at Indiana. Really played well and took command of that offense and led them to a victory on the road.
And you see the elusiveness getting inside the 20 to set up third down. Isaiah Moore, one of those linebackers we highlighted, making the stop. Third down is where NC State has been one of the best defenses in the country. Third and short, you're a little limited, but Tony Gibson likes to play the extreme. Sometimes he'll drop, sometimes it'll be blitz zero, and he will bring the entire mansion.
He certainly will, and although it's third down, you almost need to look at it as second, because this is probably 4-down territory for Maryland right here.
The handoff to Hemby, the redshirt freshman, has a first down, and it's first and goal for the Terrapins. Aiden White and Peyton Wilson combine on the stop. And a good-looking opening drive here with the backup quarterback, Billy Edwards.
Well, I tell you what, that offensive line for Maryland really getting off the ball, running a duo play, meaning guard and center and guard and tackle on the other side in combination with the tight ends are double teaming the defensive tackles at the point of attack, working up to the linebackers at the second level, really firing off the ball and setting a tone on third down on the opening drive.
The duo play has worked well for the team that plays its home games here on Sunday. Hemby again, scavenging. And he's inside the 5, down to the 4, second and goal. The Terps in the red zone this season, they've scored on 41 of 45 trips, good for a top 15 mark in the country, and 32 of those scores touchdowns.
And if there's one chink in the NC State's defense armor, it's their red zone defense, giving up points over 88% of the time. So if there is one weakness with that NC State defense, it's once teams get the ball inside the 20-yard line.
Austin Fontaine, a D lineman, comes in as an extra blocker. Hemby again, charging ahead and stood up. It's third and goal. Bowl game, Maryland style of play. You got to believe this is 4-down territory.
Boy, how about that tackle by Tanner Ingle at the safety position. You want to talk about a tough football player. This kid's just a little bit different with the juice that he plays with. NFL scouts say he has contact courage, and he is not afraid to step into the box and make big-time tackles.
Speed option. Edwards pitches. Hemby swarmed. Ingle again leading the charge. It's fourth and goal. And it looks like Maryland will go for it.
Tanner Ingle, Peyton Wilson, Isaiah Moore, all those guys getting to the ball. You can see the ferociousness that NC State Wolfpack defense plays with. They play the way you want to see defense play. They play with their hair on fire. They fly around. They make big-time hits. It's going to be a great test right here on fourth down. against the Maryland rushing attack.
Ramon Brown in the backfield with Hemby. Now Hemby goes wide. Edwards rolling right, hit and sacked. Drake Thomas, who's led the ACC and TFLs 2 years in a row, and the Wolfpack come up with a goal line stand.
Drake Thomas making his final start for the Wolfpack, off to the NFL draft after this game. I'm not surprised by this stop by NC State. Tony Gibson wants to be aggressive right there, bringing a blitz zero, so it's an all-out blitz, man coverage across the board. Nobody got open for Maryland. It was a perfect coverage sack, and then also Drake Thomas shooting the gap and getting in the backfield.
And Ben Finley gets the start at quarterback for NC State. And on first down, he'll hand it off to Jordan Houston for a short pickup. So both teams told us they would play multiple quarterbacks. We expected Taulia to start. They didn't reveal who the starter would be. It was Ben Edwards who got the start, or Billy Edwards who got the start. NC State, we knew it was going to be MJ Morris or Ben Finley. Coaches didn't tip their hand, and it's Ben Finley who started the regular season finale, a win against UNC, getting the start. Older brother Ryan, a standout quarterback for the Wolfpack, and that's nearly intercepted by Tarheeb Still, intended for the former Maryland Terrapin, Daryl Jones.
Boy, that's going to be one that Ben Finley is going to want back tomorrow. Thayer Thomas in the slot, really doing a great job on the inside slant route. Had the opportunity to catch and run, make a big one there. Thayer Thomas, a guy that you want to get the football to as often as possible. He's 6th in career yards at NC State, 2nd in career touchdowns. He's a big-time playmaker for the Wolfpack.
Third down, 7 to go. First drive for NC State after the defense came up with a goal line stand. Maryland brings pressure off the edge. Finley over the middle. Ball is tipped and picked. Intercepted by Fanaje Gote. And the Terps get it right back on the edge of the red zone.
Ben Finley just trying to get the shallow cross route to Daryl Jones, the former Maryland Terrapin. Just puts the football a little bit behind Daryl. That's really hard for a receiver that's running full speed across the field. That ball kind of jumps on you coming up over the offensive line, surprises receivers at times. That's a ball that Ben Finley, who has been accurate in his game action this year, needs to get out in front of Daryl Jones so he can make an easy catch and run.
We have an injured Maryland player on the field. NC State turns it over on its opening drive. Another crack at it for Maryland from the 23-yard line.
Hi, I'm Bill with Duke's Mayo. Welcome to the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Duke serves up family recipes and bold flavors with something we call twang, bringing folks together through food and tradition since 1917. Today, we're here to support communities and service industries with another Southern tradition, college football. Wait, were you filming him the whole time? Welcome to the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Maryland football after NC State turns it over. 71st meeting between the Terps and the Wolfpack. Each team has won 33 games, 4 ended in a tie. That can't happen anymore. And it's the first meeting since 2017, and Taulia Tungavailoa comes in for the second Maryland series. For NC State, the key is keeping him in the pocket. Corey Dyches, the tight end, in motion. The blitz coming. Tony Gibson bringing the house on first down.
You had to wonder with that TV timeout what Tony Gibson was going to do on the sudden change situation. Backed up, short field. Not surprised at all. Once again, bringing it all out. Blitz zero, leaving all of his corners and safeties on islands one-on-one. Taulia Tungavailoa not able to take advantage of the man-to-man matchups.
Tungavailoa's pass is incomplete. Wanted Shalik Knotts out of Monroe, North Carolina, not too far from here. Young wide receiver, part of a deep receiving room, and we're going to see some of the hidden gems that didn't get a chance because of the depth at that position during the regular season. Mike Loxley is really high on Shalik Knotts and Ty Felton.
Yeah, certainly some great young receivers getting some of their first big-time action today. That last pass, Talia just getting stepped on by running back Roman Hemby, which is what created the misfire.
And now Tony Gibson can dial it up on 3rd and long. He'll drop 8. In the pocket, Tagovailoa rolling out, floats it toward the end zone, and intercepted. Cyrus Fagan, the strong safety with his 3rd pick of the season. That is that defensive backfield for the Wolfpack. It's their 18th interception on the season, top 10 nationally.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I don't know if Cyrus got that right foot in bounds. After seeing the initial replay, that's clearly an interception, big-time play by safety Cyrus Fagan. Definitely a leader on that back end, makes a lot of calls. But going back to why that happened, Talia Tagovailoa just throwing the ball up for grabs. You know, Talia, a kid that wants to sit down with his family after this football game and discuss possibly going and entering his name into the NFL draft. If he's going to make that next step, he's going to need to find out that ball security is job security. A lot of NFL scouts in the stands today to watch Talia.
Ben Finley back out there for the second drive, throws to the freshman, Michael Allen. For the first 8 games, Allen only had 10 carries, all of which came in garbage time against UConn. In the last 4 games, he's averaging 10 carries per game. He's an electric freshman, an ESPN 300 recruit, and a guy with a big upside in Raleigh.
He certainly does. He's someone that's a lot of fun to watch on film. He runs the way you want your running back to. He runs hard, lowers his shoulder, has great pad level. When you come up to make tackles against Michael Allen, you better be ready for some contact.
NC State in this game will have a new play caller. Their offensive coordinator, Tim Beck, took the head coaching job at Coastal Carolina. So Kurt Roper, who was the running backs coach, takes over as a play caller, and he's had experience doing that. He was the OC at Florida, South Carolina, and Duke.
Yeah, and that's the good news for the Wolfpack faithfuls. They have an experienced play caller calling plays today, even with the Tim Beck departure. One thing that he did note to us with Kurt Roper, don't be surprised if you see some aggressive downfield shots early in the football game.
Underneath throw, Thayer Thomas gets free into Maryland territory and stays in bounds across the 30-yard line all the way down to the 27, a gain of 36. Thomas, in his NC State career, 2nd all-time in receptions behind former teammate Emeka Emezi, 2nd all-time in touchdown catches behind only the great Torrey Holt.
Well, you can see why there. He takes a simple 5-yard stick route and breaks it for an explosive gain for his Wolfpack offense. The kid's very crafty, great route runner. You can see why he's such a weapon in the slot.
Allen on the cutback to the 25.
Going back to the explosive gain 2 plays ago, like I said, just a simple stick route to Thayer Thomas, up, breaking out at 5 yards. He finds the soft spot in the defense, and then he's also dangerous after the catch. Ben Finley peeking to the sideline. NC State changing the play after seeing what Maryland was going to do on defense.
Finley on the slant, too hot for Keon Lassane. It'll bring up 3rd down. Tarheeb still bringing pressure off the edge.
That was great recognition by Ben Finley. He saw the nickel pressure coming off the edge. That was going to be a big-time blow-up collision if he handed the football off there to Michael Allen. He did the next best thing, tried to take advantage of a hole in the defense with pressure coming, unable to connect.
Tarheeb still moving from nickel to outside cornerback. Deontay Banks not playing. He opted out. He's a projected 1st rounder. Allen on the flare. It'll set up 4th down. NC State, let's see if they bring on the field goal unit. They've got the Groza Award winner in Christopher Dunn, who had been perfect until the regular season finale. 24 out of 25, a first-team All-American.
Yeah, you want to talk about a rock-solid kicker, the best kicker in the nation this year, coming home with the Lou Groza Award. You wonder, hey, is it 4-down territory? No, it's not when you have Christopher Dunn in your back pocket.
It'll be a 37-yard attempt for Dunn. And NC State on the board first. Thayer Thomas set it up with a big run after catch. Dunn capitalizes, and the Wolfpack take the early lead in Charlotte.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl is brought to you by Duke's Mayo, the official condiment of the tailgate, and Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Oh, the sickos out in full force. A little after noon on a Friday, the day before New Year's Eve. This is a judgment-free zone. Oh, I mean, there you go. Look at that. Oh, that's glorious. Brock, you know what you're in for, right, with this game?
Absolutely. I prepared all week. I'm leaving my mayo allotment just for today. Put any mayo on your breakfast this morning?
No, but we do have some shenanigans planned.
Fantastic. I can't wait.
3-0 NC State after a field goal by Dunn. Maryland has had great field position and has driven the ball downfield twice. Once they got it just outside the red zone on a turnover, but unable to capitalize on either drive. The other a goal line stand. Little bobble there. And Octavian Smith able to get free across the 40. And Turbines down near midfield. They'll say he stepped out at the 47-yard line. That's kind of what this bowl game is about. You sometimes have to take a cream-filled cookie and dunk it in mayonnaise when that is your only available condiment. He bobbled the kickoff, had to make something of it, and is able to give Maryland excellent starting field position.
He certainly is. You want to talk about a true freshman with big-time playmaking ability. It's Octavian Smith. The kid in high school ran a 10.8 100-meter on the track team. He definitely has some wheels and can make big-time plays.
First look at Antoine Littleton, the big bruising back. He's down to 235. He's dropped 60 pounds since coming to Maryland, a redshirt freshman. Terps treat this bowl game as a springboard for 2023. So you'll see some young players. And last year, it was a bit of a showcase for Littleton and Roman Hemby, who are now feature players. Tagovailoa to the air, steps up, running lane. Across the 40, and Maryland back inside the 30 of NC State, a gain of 24. That's what scared Tony Gibson in this NC State defense.
Well, Tony Gibson lives by a double-edged sword, right? He likes to bring pressure once again, bringing an all-out blitz zero. Well, the issue is nobody has eyes on the quarterback. So if Talia is able to escape like he did on that last play up through the pocket, no one's there for him, and he's going to be dangerous with his legs.
If you can't get home, he's got a road trip. Deitchus in motion. Now Littleton running right side, lowers his head, and out to the 25. Impact players, but with some twang.
Talia Tagovailoa, quarterback, junior. I like Mayo. I put on sandwiches, and you should try it with Spam.
Roman Hemby. I'm a sophomore running back, and I like mayonnaise. Not too much of it, but if it's on the sandwich, I'll eat it.
Jayshon Jones, senior wide receiver. And I'm not the biggest Mayo fan. It's good on some sandwiches, and I can only do a little bit, not too much, or I can't take it.
Littleton lost a yard. Third down.
Drake Thomas not fooled for a second there. Drake Thomas off to the NFL draft today, making his 38th career start, sniffs out the screenplay that Maryland was trying to dial up. Going to need to get an offensive lineman on Drake Thomas if you're going to get the screen game going.
Thomas second to team All-ACC. All three linebackers earned all-conference honors. Third down now. NC State brings four. Designed quarterback run. Tagovailoa dives forward to escape the ambush. He's going to be shy. And Maryland will bring on its kick team. Chad Ryland on for a field goal attempt to tie.
And that's what Tony Gibson will present you today with NC State's defense. He's showing pressure with his linebackers. You see Isaiah Moore, Peyton Wilson inching up. But then at the snap of the ball, they drop back and they're there to make the play. There's going to be a lot of that cat and mouse game going on. Is it pressure, or are they going to drop 8 into coverage?
A 42-yard kick for Ryland. And it's good. Maryland ties it up. 3-all with 3:24 to go in quarter number 1. It's an old conference rivalry renewed in the Dukes Mayo Bowl. Vinay Schroff, Brock Osweiler, Andrea Carter down on the sidelines. It is the Dukes Mayo Bowl, which has turned into this spectacle. ACC versus Big Ten. Dave Dorn has come out and said, I do not like mayonnaise, not on green eggs and ham, not on anything. However, if NC State were to win, he said, I will subject myself, albeit reluctantly, to the post-game Mayo bath. And a lot of his players do want to see that for that very reason, because Coach does not like mayonnaise. Julian Gray lets this one go over his head, and NC State has it at the 25. This one's a rare bowl rematch. Last year, Iowa and Kentucky met in the Citrus Bowl. It was on New Year's Eve. This year, they square off in the TransPerfect Music City Bowl in Nashville. Both teams went 7-5 this season. Coverage begins at noon Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. Devin Leary, former NC State quarterback, has committed to Kentucky, where he will play next year. Liam Cohen coming back to Kentucky as the offensive coordinator after serving in that role with the Rams. Ben Finley on for his 3rd drive. Still no MJ Morris. Jordan Houston met by a phalanx of Terrapins right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down. Finley started that final regular season game, that win against North Carolina. Wild, entertaining game, and he's got great bloodlines. His brother played at NC State. When you turn on the tape, what do you see?
Well, I tell you what, I was really impressed with how he played against the North Carolina Tar Heels, leading his team to victory. You can tell he makes quick decisions. He's a quick processor. He's accurate with the football. There were some game situations that he was able to flash his football IQ. He's someone that I definitely want to keep my eyes on over the next couple years as he continues to develop.
Back to Houston. Finds a bit of a hole and gets out to the 30. It brings up 3rd down and 5. The run game all season for NC State has just not been consistent. They average less than 3.5 yards per carry. They lost Demi Sumo Karngbe, who was an explosive back, to an injury. Michael Allen has come on late, but they just haven't had consistency at that position.
Maryland showing man coverage, possibly bringing pressure with middle linebacker Jayshon Barham.
Here comes the blitz. Finley floats it downfield and off the right hand of a lunging Thayer Thomas. It'll bring up 4th down. And you have to remember, NC State missing 2 first-team All-ACC offensive linemen. No Grant Gibson, no Chandler Zavala. That's their left guard and their center, so a little thin on the interior.
Yeah, they certainly are. There's a lot of players missing on both sides, whether it's injuries, opting out of the game, getting ready for the NFL draft, trying to get healthy, or hitting the portal, which is why you see guys like last play, true freshman Gavin Gibson doing a tremendous job there on Thayer Thomas on 3rd down.
Caden Noonkester from Marvin Ridge High School in Waxhaw, North Carolina, just south of here. He will punt it away. And Jayshon Jones will receive. That one almost blocked. And Maryland covers it up at the 35-yard line. We're back in 10 seconds after a message from Ally.
How you support your team is how your money deserves to be supported. That's why we're all better off with an Ally. Back to you.
Final 2 minutes of this opening quarter. Mike Loxley looking to lead Maryland to back-to-back bowl wins. They haven't won a bowl game in back-to-back seasons since Ralph Friedgen was the coach. It's been almost 20 years.
Yeah, not only that, Maryland's going for their 8th win, which would be the first time the program's had 8 wins since 2010. A lot to play for today.
Now, that was Friedgen's final season. That's Hemby, Wildcat there. And a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. besides the exotic looks and the blitzes, what else makes Tony Gibson's defense such a tough matchup?
Well, you can just tell that they're coached the right way. They're a very disciplined team. They don't make big mistakes. They don't give up big explosive plays because someone busted on the back end. You can tell they're very in sync. This unit's played a lot of football together, and they're very comfortable with one another out there on the field.
Drake Thomas showing blitz. He's coming. Tagovailoa fires a strike, and that's Ty Felton, one of the young wide receivers, his 20th catch of this season. Big-time speed. He picks up 13 and a first down.
It was a great slant route there by Ty Felton. You can tell he's got great chemistry with Talia Tagovailoa. Does a great job winning the one-on-one matchup, just sticking his foot in the ground and crossing that defensive back's face to protect the throw.
Felton changing his number to 7. That was Dante Demas's number. Tagovailoa under pressure, move in the pocket, fires to Deichus, who holds on as Peyton Wilson drills him. Maryland and NC State territory as we check in with Andrea while Peyton Wilson is slow to get up.
Well, guys, we've seen a couple of nice plays from Talia Tagovailoa, and last time out on the sidelines, he came over, patted his guys on the knees, and he said, "We're going to get it rolling, baby, just watch." So a lot of confidence from him on the sidelines, showing up while he's playing.
You look at the history of Maryland football over the last almost 15 years, and they have struggled to find two things: health and stability at the quarterback position. Talia Tagovailoa, who originally committed to Mike Loxley when Lox was at Alabama, followed Loxley to College Park. He's turned into the most prolific passer in the history of the program.
He certainly has, and just to piggyback on what Drea was just telling us, he is the ultimate leader of this football team. You talk to his teammates and they say, listen, he makes all of us better because he holds us to such a high standard. So for Talia to throw an interception, shake it off, move on to the next play, and kind of fire up his teammates, we're not surprised.
Peyton Wilson walking off. He has battled injuries throughout his career. A couple of years ago, he was the ACC leading tackler, defensive player of the year, and then had a season-ending injury early last year. He does not have a dimmer where he can turn it down. It's one speed.
That's it. And you talk about a guy that has bad luck getting hurt. Some of it's just because he plays so hard, so physical, and brings big hit, play in and play out.
Jalen Scott checks in for Wilson. Scott's played a lot for NC State. On the ground, Hemby tried to pinball off a defender. Instead, he gets stuffed. Close to the first down, a yard shy. That's Engel, the hard-hitting safety.
Surprise, surprise. Tanner Engel's there to force the 3rd and short. I tell you what, this safety plays the game the right way. He's tough, he's physical, he flies around. A lot of fun to watch.
Quarter number 1 here in Charlotte comes to an end. We Mayo have a surprise for you at the start of the second quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Defenses have come up with some big plays. Each team has an interception. NC State getting in the backfield with Drake Thomas, tied at 3 at the end of 1 in Uptown Charlotte. Welcome back to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, all a part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Anish Schropp, Brock Osweiler, Andrea Carter down on the field. Tied at 3, 1 quarter in the books. Yes, we promised a surprise. I'm told it's coming. So it's supposed to be at the start of the second quarter, but it is coming.
Keep the anticipation rolling.
Terps have it. 3rd down, 1 to go. Talia Tagovailoa comes under center. Ramon Brown is the deep back. It's an offset Maryland eye almost. And they hand it to Littleton. And this NC State defense, 3rd and short. That's twice now they've come up with a big play. There's a reason they excel on 3rd downs.
No question. I tell you what, this NC State defense came to play today. Isaiah Moore, middle linebacker, making his 55th career start today for the Wolfpack. Just meeting Antoine Littleton right in the A-gap and says, you're not crossing this first down line today.
4th down. Terps decide to go for it. No surprise. They're aggressive offensively.
NC State showing pressure.
Wolfpack crowd the box. Tagovailoa tries to shovel it forward.
Incomplete.
And that's going to be incomplete. It's a forward pass, and it's a turnover on down. So Maryland has been in Wolfpack territory on all 4 possessions,
on the field is
and all they have is a field goal.
4 possessions with only 3 points to show for it. Maryland's had every opportunity that you would want early in a football game as an offense, but I tell you what, give credit to that NC State defense led by Tony Gibson. Boy, they got their screws tight today, and they came to play some football to cap off this 2022 season.
It's Ben Finley again for NC State. MJ Morris was hurt late in the season. Had been practicing, saw a lot of first-team reps leading up to this bowl game, but it's been all Finley so far. And Finley scanning the pocket on the drag, finds Thayer Thomas. A pickup of 3. It sets up 2nd and 7.
Great catch by Thayer. Ball just a little bit behind him. Ben Finley, redshirt freshman, just trying to find some rhythm early in this football game. He's made some great throws. He's also missed a couple right there. Thayer Thomas bailing him out with the great hands.
The speedy freshman Michael Allen is the running back, and Maryland showing blitz, and now the finger pointing commences.
Ball start. Offense number 52. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Looks like Timothy McKay, honorable mention, all ACC offensive tackle, getting a little bit of a head start, pushing his offense 5 yards back.
On 2nd and 13, Finley to the air, pressure off the edge. Deep ball is too far for Darrell Jones. It'll bring up 3rd down, and how about impact players with a little dollop of mayonnaise?
My name is Jordan Houston. I play running back. I'm a junior, and I don't like mayonnaise.
My name is Thayer Thomas, wide receiver, and I'm a senior, and I love my mayonnaise on my chicken sandwiches.
I'm Bryson Speeds. I play offensive line. I'm a senior here at NC State. I do like mayonnaise, and I like to put it on spaghetti.
That's somebody who understood the assignment. Finley on 3rd down, completes. That's a 1st down. It's Julian Gray into Maryland territory. His 10th catch of the season. He's a Charlotte native. Generated a lot of preseason buzz, and Dave Doran said he's somebody to watch going into next season.
What a play call by Kurt Roper, stepping in, calling plays for the first time this year. Catches Maryland in a cover 2 defense. You get the middle linebacker running down the middle of the field with number 3, which was Thayer Thomas. There's a perfect hole right there for that 18-yard in-cut. Big time pickup. Great throw, great timing, great catch.
Allen running left, hit, and dives close to the original line of scrimmage. Brock, Mayo with spaghetti, yes or no?
Absolutely not. I make too good of a spaghetti to mess, you know, I don't need to be messing with any mayo in my red sauce.
Your palate is too refined. We need to drag you to our level.
Hey, listen, you give me a BLT, hey, I'm all about the mayo. You give me a lobster roll, let's do it. A deviled egg, I'm all in.
Peanut butter jelly sandwich?
There's just some things we don't need to throw mayo in.
Screen pass, Allen. Breaks a tackle by Gote and then shouldered out of bounds. Andrea, spaghetti and mayonnaise, is that a yes or a no?
Honestly, I'm down to trying anything once. However, well, food related, I'm down to trying anything once. But I do want to know, guys, mayonnaise on corn on the cob. Just picture it like butter. Mayonnaise, corn on the cob. Shout out to my family in Lima, Ohio. Learned it from the Lehman family. Would you try it?
Yeah, I would do it. After the bowl game last year, I did this bowl game last year. I mean, shoot, mayonnaise on anything. Third down, Jordan Houston comes in. Maybe we can bring that up in the 3rd quarter. Mayonnaise and corn. Finley scanning. Slings it. Thomas. And let's see what they give him with forward progress. A little short, about 1.5 yards shy. It'll bring up 4th down. And there's an injured Terrapin way back near midfield. That's Tank Booker.
Interesting scheme there by the NC State Wolfpack. Thayer Thomas taking advantage of some inside leverage. Great route, great timing. But out on the outside, it was almost like the receiver stopped and they were getting ready to block for Thayer. If they would have just cleared out the defensive backs, I think that would have been an easy pickup for Thayer.
We'll step aside while the Maryland training staff attends to Booker. 11:51 to go. First half, all tied at 3. Fourth down, 1 to go. NC State will go for it. Finley hands to Houston. And this will be close. The initial spot says no.
Jayshon Barham right there, the true freshman to make the stop, sticking his nose right in the hole. I'll tell you what, we've had some collisions on these 4th and shorts.
It is Maryland ball. The Terps get the stop.
Wow.
And Barham, to your point, led all Big Ten freshmen in tackles. They feel they've got a special talent. And again, true freshman just scratching the surface.
Certainly special's an understatement. Jayshon Barham had a stellar true freshman campaign, making the freshman All-American team. Someone to keep an eye out for over the next couple years. He'll be making plenty of big-time plays.
Maryland has been in NC State territory on every drive. Only the field goal, however. Tagovailoa off play action. Dyches was open momentarily. Taulia didn't see him. Now checks down to Hemby. He's got room to run. And out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They'll be close to a first down. He's got a first down, a gain of 11. In that last commercial break, former Texas A&M offensive lineman Jay Arnold was here. He was the millionth fan, and as his reward, he is going to eat that tub of Duke's mayonnaise for the rest of the game, and that's a big spoon.
We have 2 quarterbacks on the field right now. Billy Edwards at the quarterback position. Taulia down at the bottom of your screen, lined up at wide receiver.
And the Mayo's so good. Edwards decide a little designed quarterback run. Not much there.
Boy, you want to talk about some hits happening down there on the field. Tanner Engel flying around, Isaiah Moore flying around. You can tell this football game means a lot to both these universities.
Edwards comes off. Engel is still down. All-conference safety, 7 all-conference selections on defense for NC State. A few years ago, he had some issues with targeting penalties. He's cleaned that up, and he's found a way to channel that aggressiveness these last couple of years. Terps with a second down, 9 to go. Is Jay Arnold still picking away at the Mayo? He's not picking away. He's taking spoonfuls.
Yeah, it looked like he was enjoying it.
Now he's on his phone.
Checking out all the everything that's happening on Twitter right now.
And people will be responding. Give us what we want. Get to work on the mayonnaise. Roman Hemby is the running back. Second down, 9 to go. 10.5 to go first half. Hemby close to midfield. It brings up third down. Isaiah Moore, the 3-time captain, with the stop. Hemby's accounted for almost a quarter of Maryland's scrimmage yards this season.
Great job there by Hemby, staying patient. Just a little outside zone play. Thought he was going to try to duck it inside. Saw a defender, stayed patient, got it to the edge, lowered his pad level, and found some good yards inside to make it third and manageable.
Interesting dynamic with the Maryland offense. No Rakim Jarrett, no Dante Demas, no Jacob Copeland. C.J. Dupree, the tight end, transferred to Alabama. All day. Downfield, it's caught. That's Ty Felton. Well, they didn't have all those pass catchers, but they feel Ty Felton is next.
They certainly do. You talk to Michael Loxley and the rest of his staff, and they say, listen, we recruited for this moment. We knew we were going to have 3 receivers leave for the NFL at some point. So it sounds like they're very comfortable with their depth. Talia did a tremendous job there. He was running a man-to-man scheme against zone. Nobody was open. He stayed patient, was able to find Ty Felton late, ad-libbing down the field.
Meanwhile, Hemby choosing violence on that run for a first down. And with that last pass completion, Talia Tagovailoa breaks another Maryland record. Most completions in school history. High snap, and before the snap, a whistle.
First charge timeout, NC State.
Timeout, Wolfpack. Maryland pressing the gas pedal again within striking distance. 9:08 to go in the second.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl is brought to you by Duke's Mayo, the official condiment of the tailgate, and Burger King.
Both teams had some fun in the Queen City. They went to Charlotte Motor Speedway, took laps going about, 160 miles per hour. Monday night, teams were greeted with their own tailgate at Queens Park Social, did some bowling there, arcade games, and they also visited Second Harvest, the local food bank, to help pack bags for local kids to have meals over the weekend. That's one of the most rewarding parts of the bowl experience, getting to help the community that you're in for that week.
Certainly is. It's so great to see these student athletes getting out there, making a positive difference within the community. It's really special to see them really taking advantage of this bowl game and everything that it has to offer.
Meanwhile, the mascot race, the turtle, slow and steady was the plan. Testudo. Roman Hemby's the running back. NC State showing pressure off the edge. On first down, Tagovailoa gets rid of it quickly. It's Dyches, met immediately, and he was pushed out of bounds. Aiden White, who had 4 picks this year, first team all-conference corner, got there right away. Dyches, a terrific pass-catching tight end. And this Terrapin offense under Mike Loxley, they emphasize the tight end in the pass game.
They certainly do. They've had more production at the tight end position the last couple years than any other team in the Big Ten. But it's fun to watch what Tony Gibson's game plan is for NC State. You can see it right now. He says, hey, I'm bringing blitz zero pressure, and I'm going to force Talia to make quick decisions, and we'll see if Maryland can make someone miss to make the big play.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
71 is Jalen Duncan, a big-time prospect. He's drawn the attention of several NFL scouts, and in some mocks, he is a projected first-rounder or very close to it.
He certainly is, and you can understand why. He's 6'6", 320 pounds, but he doesn't play like it. He bends well. He's got long arms. He's athletic. He can get out in front and run in the screen game. Very talented player at left tackle.
Tagovailoa throws, and it's dropped by Burns. Joe Burns, that would have been his first catch of the season, first catch of his career. Primarily a special teams player. He's in that fullback role, and we said they like to throw to the tight end, but they're missing one of those tight ends. C.J. Dupree entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, and you can see how that hurts them right there. Joseph Burns really getting worked into the passing game for the first time this season. Great play call, though, and designed by Dan Enos, putting a little eye candy in the flat, which got the corner to step up, which was what allowed Joseph Burns to get to the second level wide open.
On third down, here's the blitz. Tagovailoa lobs it for Smith. Did he hold on? Touchdown, Maryland.
I think that one might be ruled incomplete. It looked like there was a little bit of a bobble at the end. You have to possess the ball and have complete control all the way through the catch. It was a great attempt, great effort. I just don't know if that was controlled all the way through.
The replay booth is looking at it. Every scoring play is reviewed. Every play is reviewed.
Now the key for Maryland here is that it was ruled initially a touchdown. I don't know, on second look, that's starting to look like a completed catch.
It's going to be a touchdown. Maryland got the kickoff, so they looked at it upstairs. Didn't see enough to call for an extended replay. It's a touchdown for Maryland and a touchdown for Octavian Smith. Just his second touchdown catch of the season. 5 of his 10 receptions this year have come in the last 2 games, the regular season finale and today in the Dukes Mayo Bowl. Maryland with a 10-3 lead after a touchdown catch by Octavian Smith. Go figure. Both his touchdown catches in his career have come in the Queen City. Had one earlier this year when Maryland played at the Charlotte 49ers.
Tell you what, Octavian Smith showed up today. He was ready to play. He's already made a huge play on special teams with a big kick return. Coming back, I was dead wrong. I thought he bobbled that last touchdown catch. That was clean as can be. Tremendous play by Octavian Smith to get Maryland up 10-3.
Today's clutch delivery is brought to you by Chipotle, and it's one more look at that last touchdown.
Yeah, beautiful throw by Talia Tungavailoa, putting enough air on that fade ball just to allow Octavian Smith running the slot fade from the inside position to go up, secure the football, make a great catch, get feet in bounds. Big time play by Maryland.
Wolfpack come out from the 25-yard line, trailing for the first time today. Ben Finley has played every offensive snap in this first half. We're told Michael Allen left the game with an injury. The running back, his return is questionable. And so it's Jordan Houston in the backfield and a quick throw to the outside on first down. Charlotte native Porter Rooks with a pickup of 8.
And I think really that's one of the things that Ben Finley does so well is he makes quick decisions with the football. He gets the ball out. He always remains in a throwing position, which is why you see that quick release.
Finley's 8 out of 13, 1 interception. Houston moves the chains.
Boy, it's tough sledding inside today. Both of these teams on defense came to play in the trenches. These defensive lines making it very difficult in this first half to run the football.
NC State without one of its starting receivers, Devin Carter, in the transfer portal. He was a big play threat, did have some issues with consistency in his Wolfpack career, so you'll see more of Keon Lusane, more of Terrell Timmons lined up on the left side at the top of your screen, number 82. Low snap, Houston, short gain, a yard.
Boy, Maryland really loading up the box right now, trying to play the run, thinking that's what NC State's going to lean on with their young quarterbacks, just playing a man-to-man defense so they can bring the extra safety into the box. NC State, if they continue to get man-to-man looks like that and want to play in the check with me system, looking to the sideline, they're going to need to take advantage of the man coverage with the passing game.
Now, right now, the Wolfpack averaging less than 2 yards on the ground. Finley pumps, lets it fly down the seam, and incomplete. A diving effort, and the receiver down after the play. That's Timmons. Had a big 28-yard touchdown catch in the win against UNC.
Boy, the freshman walk-on just not quite able to bring it in. Laying out for the football. Great throw there by Ben Finley, taking advantage of the quarter's defense by Maryland, trying to hit the big post over the top of the safety's head.
And Timmons into the tent. Third down, 9 to go.
Keep an eye out for Thayer Thomas. He's in the slot at the top of your screen. He is definitely Ben Finley's go-to guy on third down.
Finley instead throws to the sideline, and it's brought down for a first down. Darryl Jones again. We mentioned he was a former Terrapin, He played his best game for Maryland in the bowl game last year. 111 yards, 2 touchdowns in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Boy, great job there by Daryl Jones, just running one of those 12-yard stop routes. You try to get the defensive back going, you hit the brakes, and with his big body at 6'3", 200 pounds, he's just able to box out the defender and go pick up the first down for his team.
And that is Corey Coley wearing number 3 today, not Deontay Banks, who's not playing, getting ready for the draft. Finley downfield to the sideline. Jones again. I'll tell you what, Ben Finley on this drive has thrown a couple of dimes.
I love what Kurt Roper is doing right now. He just called a play where Daryl Jones sells the go route, but then hits the brakes at about 10 to 12 yards. So then he comes right back, and he's messing with the cornerback's head, saying, hey, you think I'm going to hit the brakes again? No, we're going to run a go route, perfectly thrown back shoulder ball. You can tell Ben Finley and Daryl Jones are definitely in sync and on the same page.
Tootle is the tight end. He motions. Finley again to the air. Lobs it downfield. And it's caught by Tootle inside the 5. The 6'4" tight end on the touch pass. And it's 1st and goal, NC State.
I love it. Great catch there by Tootle. Ben Finley doing a great job with his eyes, holding the middle of field safety away. He knew he wanted to go to the wheel route. There was a post clear out to that side, got the corner out of the way, and then Ben Finley taking advantage of the tight end being covered by a linebacker.
And it looked like it may have gone off the hand of Bo Braid, the safety. On 1st and goal, Finley rolling right, stops, and fires incomplete in the direction of Jones.
And there's the football IQ showing up for the redshirt freshman. Everything was covered by Maryland. He was under duress, pressure was coming, did the next best thing with the football, saved the field position, threw it out of bounds. NC State in somewhat of a check with me mode. The whole team looking to the sideline, trying to take advantage. This great field position.
2 tight ends in the game. Finley is hit, lobs it incomplete. Looking for Ced Sebro. You got 2 Sebro twins, Ced and Fred. Ced has 7 catches on the season. It's 3rd and goal, and these last 2 play calls tells you NC State doesn't have a ton of confidence in the run game right now.
No, and understandably so. Maryland's done a tremendous job today of stopping the run. Kurt Roper dialing up some good pass plays, and there's a lot of trust in Ben Finley. Although he's a redshirt freshman, he's been on campus and been involved with this football program for 3 seasons because of the COVID year. A lot of trust in the quarterback.
Daryl Jones, the slot receiver. Finley again to the air. And too hot, incomplete, 4th down. And now if you're Kurt Roper, you're this offense. Do you go for it? It looks like they will. Nope. And that's a win for this Maryland defense. NC State got it down to the 2-yard line, 3 straight incompletions, and you're ending up with a field goal attempt.
Yeah, huge stop by Maryland. On the other side of you can see what Dave Doran's thinking. He says, listen, my defense for NC State right now, they're playing lights out, and this is probably going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to take the points when they present themselves and lean on my defense.
19-yard chip shot is good. It's 10-6. 4-point game with 4.5 to go in the first half. Coming up on the TikTok halftime report, we'll go live to Atlanta, site of the Peach Bowl. The quarterbacks tell the story in the college football playoff semifinals and Jim Harbaugh's quest to get to that championship game. Last year, they were knocked off in the semis by Georgia. They take on TCU. It's Ohio State and Georgia in the other semifinal game. College football playoffs coming your way tomorrow.
Can't wait. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch. I'm sure Michigan has a very sour taste in their mouth with how the playoff ended up for them last year. Out to prove some things this year. Should be a fun day of football.
Octavian Smith, who has the Maryland touchdown, across the 20, and pretzels to the 27-yard line. Take a look at today's performance update prepared by Tax Act. And it's Ben Finley. We're told he will play the entire game. MJ Morris, we were just told, will not play today, and he's made some nice throws.
I'll tell you what, for a quarterback only making his second career start, he's really flashed some greatness out there today. Good go ball, great back shoulder. He's picked up some third downs. You know, found Thayer Thomas to convert some big-time plays, and you can see that this kid has a chance to be very special.
Maryland goes empty on first down. Over the middle, and that's caught by Jay-Sean Jones. Drea?
Well, you guys have talked so much about Talia Tagovailoa and his leadership, and last time on the sidelines, he went to almost every receiver and told them one thing that they did well. You heard him say, great catch on third down, way to attack it. Another thing that he said was when they're going blitz zero, they cannot run with us. So a lot of confidence from Tagovailoa in his offense.
Yeah, he's a young man who is detailed. You talk to Mike Loxley, he keeps these spiral notebooks, which have added up over the years. Detailed notes, lives in the film room. Tanner Ingle down for the second time for NC State, meanwhile. And Brock, just to clarify our earlier comment, we were told going into the game that MJ Morris would play, both quarterbacks would play. Remember, Morris got hurt late in the season, didn't play in that regular season finale against North Carolina. So he will not play at quarterback for NC State, and we're told it is out of precaution for the injury that he suffered late, even though he took a lot of first-team reps leading up to this game.
Yeah, who knows what the final decision was and how that went down, but at the end of the day, if you're an NC State fan, you know you're in good hands with Ben Finley being the signal caller today. Came in against North Carolina, getting his first career start, playing the state rival, arch rival for the university, goes out there, plays a tremendous football game. Really, when I broke down that tape, I only found one throw that Ben Finley probably wanted back the next day. Really stepped in with a lot of poise, made some big-time plays. That was a double overtime win, which is not easy to do in your first career start.
And assuming nothing happens between now and training camp next summer, that's going to be a fun quarterback competition to watch. The true freshman MJ Morris, who had some wow moments, 3 touchdowns off the bench in the comeback against Virginia Tech, and Ben Finley, who has this game now to go along with UNC to put on his audition tape.
I tell you what, whichever quarterback wins the starting position for the 2023 season, if you're a Wolfpack fan, you're in good hands. MJ Morris, great dual threat, can beat you with his legs, very accurate passer, throws a great deep ball. And then when you talk Ben Finley, we've seen it today. Makes quick decisions, he's accurate. Got 2 good quarterbacks on that roster for the Wolfpack.
Meanwhile, big loss for the defense as Ingle is helped off the field. And Sean Brown takes his place. They are very high on Sean Brown. They say he's going to step in for Ingle next year, be the starting safety. That pass is dropped. It'll bring up third down. Felton could not hold on. Aiden White came closing in fast.
Hopefully Tanner Ingle's okay. Guy that you would love to see get back in this game. But just like you said, Sean Brown has played a lot of football this year, came in today as the starting dime, going to move into that free safety position with Tanner Ingle off the field.
Terps are 4 out of 8 on third downs against one of the best third down defenses in the country. Play clock down to 3. NC State dropping 8. Tagovailoa, happy feet, rolling right. Nobody open, throws underneath, and it's caught for a first down. A gain of 8 yards.
What a tremendous job of Talia Tagovailoa staying patient. Maryland was running this man-to-man mesh concept, trying to run away from defenders. North Carolina State comes out in a zone defense and just passes off all the mesh routes underneath. Tagovailoa staying patient, keeping his eyes down the field, showing that escapability that he has, finding a way to get a fresh set of downs.
Second catch for Octavian Smith. Colby McDonald is the running back. Dyches motions. Looked like an RPO and incomplete over the middle for Shalik Knotts. They call him punch. And Dan Enos, the offensive coordinator, and Mike Loxley, the head coach, both raved about what this kid could be. They see potentially another Dante Demas type.
Yeah, the coaching staff is very high on the young receivers that they currently have in their room, losing 3 guys to the NFL draft, not playing in this football game. But when you talk to Dan Enos, Mike Loxley, they're very excited about the young receivers for this Maryland football team.
Tagovailoa under pressure and sacked. C.J. Clark, the big D lineman.
Not sure why Talia hung on to the football there. He had man coverage. He had his go-to receiver in Jayshon Jones in a man-to-man slot fade situation. That's one where, as a quarterback, you just got to take a quick 3-step drop, get the ball up to your playmaker, and give him a chance to make a play versus man coverage.
Second sack by NC State, and Maryland now has given up 22 sacks in its last 4+ games. Play clock down to 1. Right at 0, the snap. Tagovailoa loads up down the seam. And they say incomplete. Wanted Felton. Intended for Felton. Cyrus Fagan was there.
I think he pulled that one in.
Well, the side judge said incomplete from the far side of the field. They ruled it complete. We'll take another look.
Wow, what?
That hits the ground.
Touches
That's
the ground
an incomplete ball.
I was going to say, what concentration to bring that
The
football
ruling
in.
on the field is a completed catch for a first down. The previous play is under review.
Yeah, the side judge came out nearest our broadcast position and said incomplete almost immediately. On the far side,
yeah, just
the ruling was a catch.
Just depends on what side of Ty Felton you were on. If you were behind him, kind of looks like a catch. If you're in front of him, it's a clear-cut, incomplete pass.
Fagan tips it. And yeah, that ball hits the ground. You can't use the ground to secure the ball. The ball is allowed to hit the ground if you have control of it. And so this should be a quick overturn.
Tell you what, though, I love the aggressive play call by Dan Enos. A lot of times on 3rd and 17, you see a quick screen, see a draw to the running back, and you just kind of reserve the right to punt, head to the sideline. I'm with Dan Enos. He said, hey, we're here to win this bowl game. I'm going to take a shot down the field and try to pick up this first down.
After review, receiver did not complete the process of making the catch. The result is an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down.
So the punt team will come on.
Maryland number 35 is now wearing 36. Correction, number 6. False start. Offense, number 15, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Octavian Smith jumped. Colton Spangler will kick to Thayer Thomas.
Well, these young receivers are doing double duty today, playing special teams and starting at the wide receiver position.
Fair catch made at about the 30. Here's our upcoming featured ESPN football lineup. Michigan, TCU, Georgia, Ohio State in the college football playoff semis. Tomorrow, Penn State and Utah face off in the granddaddy of them all, It's the Rose Bowl, and how about Monday Night Football? Josh Allen, Buffalo, Joe Burrow, and the Bengals. Bengals have been red hot of late. Might be a potential AFC Championship preview. NC State with Kurt Roper as the play caller today. Robert Anae, hired away from Syracuse, had a lot of success at Virginia and BYU, will be the offensive coordinator next season. There is Roper with the glasses through the foggy window. And caught by Sid Sebro, tight end drag route, a gain of 3. Robert Anae is going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting hire. He likes to go fast, but what Dave Doran likes about Anae is his ability to mold his personnel to his scheme, not the other way around. Not this is what we're going to do. It doesn't matter the pieces that we have. Finley throws, and that is through the hands of Julian Gray. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, you asked Dave Doran, you said, hey, why Robert Anae? You know, it kind of goes a little bit against what we've seen in your blueprint and how you go about things on offense. And he said really it was 2 things. He goes, I love the diversity of his system, and then what you said, how he molds it to the skill sets and what his guys do best. He goes, listen, we could be a ground and pound team with him, or we can air it out and throw it. It just depends on who we have at quarterback, what our offensive line looks like. So he really likes that diversity of his system.
And he saw what Anae did with quarterback Garrett Schrader at Syracuse this year. He saw what he did with Brennan Armstrong at Virginia. And Armstrong's numbers fell off this year without Anae as that ball is incomplete. And it'll bring up fourth down. And now players getting into it in the backfield a little bit.
Ben Finley making a nice read there. Catching his go-to guy on third down, Thayer Thomas, and man coverage on safety, Bo Braid. Playing inside leverage. Thayer Thomas just doing a little 10-yard out. Right at the sticks, unable to connect. But great route by Thayer. Just a little misfire by Ben Finley.
Noonkester on to punt.
It's going to be false start on NC State out there at the gunner position. Daryl Jones.
So we've seen both teams get that. You wonder how much of that is layoff sometimes in these bowl games.
False start. Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
That's exactly what it is. It's just you almost have to knock off the rust a little bit. You know, you kind of cap your season, and then you have 3 weeks where, yeah, there's a little bit of practice, but then you also go home for Christmas. You're taking finals, and it's almost like football takes a back seat for a little bit, and then you got to get back into game mode.
Yeah, for both these teams, they have not played in more than a month. Noonkester just got it off. Good punt, though. And Jones with the fair catch at the 22.
Talia Tungavailoa coming out, having some ups and downs today, but the one thing that has been constant is making plays outside of the pocket. He's very dangerous with his legs, finding some explosive plays today, and then making some big-time throws from the pocket, finding a big-time touchdown pass with the back shoulder fade on the inside slot route. I tell you what, the one thing with Tungavailoa, things might not always go perfect, right? He had the red zone interception. He's missed a few throws. But I tell you what, he brushes off the previous play almost better than anyone else in the country, stays positive, and keeps moving forward and making plays.
He owns every significant career passing record at Maryland. Little twist by the Wolfpack. And incomplete for Hemby. Tried to thread the needle. Second down. Brock, you brought it up earlier. Now, there is chatter. Will this be his final game? What decision will Talia make after the game? If you were advising him as a former quarterback, what would you suggest?
Well, you know, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, do you feel like you've accomplished everything you wanted to and also can do at the collegiate level? If the answer is yes, well, then it's a no-brainer. Yes, you step on to the next stage in life and enter yourself into the NFL draft. But if you feel like you can improve your skill set, you can improve your draft stock, and you can build upon the already great career you've had, you come back to school for another campaign.
Tungavailoa downfield and too far for Jones. I know you were in that spot coming out of Arizona State. You really wrestled with, do I come back for another year versus do I turn pro?
Yeah, and I think a lot of quarterbacks obviously are faced with this decision that have pro potential, and every situation's different. For me, there was a new coach coming in. There was going to be a new coordinator, a new system. There was a lot of different new moving parts where if Talia Tagovailoa decides to come back to school, he knows what he's getting. He knows the system he's playing in. He knows who his teammates are, so he can really build upon all the great things he already does.
On third down, safety blitz. Tagovailoa chased by Wilson, who forces him to throw it away. Fourth down.
Tell you what, I love the way Peyton Wilson plays the game of football. He was nicked up earlier, went to the sideline for a few plays. He's back out there running around with his hair on fire, just consistently making plays for the Wolfpack defense.
And it looks like they're debating, was Tagovailoa down or was it incomplete? And that will depend on this spot. And they're going to back Maryland up, it appears. Now we get a flag.
Potential grounding. Offense. Lost it down to spot a foul. It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, so in that case, Tagovailoa was out of the pocket, but there's a second part. The ball has to cross the line of scrimmage, and it didn't. So that's the spot foul. It's intentional grounding. If there's a receiver in the area, that satisfies everything. If there isn't, you've got to be outside the pocket, which he clearly was. And now the ball has to cross the line of scrimmage, and in that case, it did not.
You're exactly right, and that's a quarterback's responsibility. You need to know where that line of scrimmage is when you're throwing the football away.
For the play, we're going to redo this play.
Officials were not set, so that is the confusion. It will be a redo. They were not set before the snap. Spangler from his own end zone punts it away, and Thayer Thomas retreats to the 43. Has the 45 and bumped down at the 46-yard line, a 42-yard punt. And NC State with a chance with 1:12 to go in the second quarter, ball near midfield. The college football playoff semifinals tomorrow on ESPN. Number 2 Michigan, number 3 TCU. Michigan in the playoff for a second straight year. First time for TCU. The Big 12, 0 college football playoff wins. And then Georgia and Ohio State meet in the Peach Bowl at 8 p.m. in the second semifinal. Winners playing the championship Monday, January 9th. Finley to the air, to the outside. Keon Lesane out to about the 46-yard line.
What an opportunity for NC State here. Clock goes a minute to go in the first half. NC State receiving the opening kickoff of the third quarter. So if they're able to find points here, get some points to start the third quarter, they can really put themselves in a good position.
Lesane got his hand on it, goes out of bounds, clock stops. NC State's got 2 timeouts, 46 seconds to go. That was actually a wise play by Lesane. If he catches that minimal yardage, you either have to burn a timeout or more time runs off, so you punch it out of bounds.
You're exactly right. That's a heads-up football play. You can see the football IQ there. Listen, a lot of these games, whether you win or lose, comes down to situational football, and the 2-minute drive is as big as any situation.
Maryland showing blitz. Here comes the pressure. Over the middle, Lesane wide open. Angles across the 30, down inside the 25. Tripped up by Braid. That will momentarily stop the clock with 38 seconds to go. First down at the Maryland 23-yard line.
What a crafty heads-up veteran play by Thayer Thomas, recognizing that it's man-to-man and just getting Keon Lesane's defender rubbed off just enough to pop him free.
Finley's pass incomplete for Jones. 2nd down and 10.
That was savvy, and that's what you get with a veteran receiver like Thayer Thomas. That's a big-time play. He doesn't get the stat, but that play does not pop like it does if Thayer doesn't recognize the situation.
Thayer Thomas from Wake Forest to North Carolina. He's played a ton of football. 28 seconds to go. 2nd down. On the delay, Houston picks up about 3. It'll bring up 3rd down. A timeout, Dave Doran. NC State with 1 left. 23 seconds to go.
Second charge timeout. North Carolina State.
Dan Enos catching Maryland in his soft zone defense. Maryland really protecting the goal line, trying to hold NC State to a field goal. So Dan says, hey, I'm not going to try to force a ball down the field. I'm going to just run the halfback draw, try to get a little bit closer, so then on 3rd down we can find a way to push the ball into the end zone or pick up a fresh set of downs.
Tomorrow, many ways to watch the college football playoff semifinals. Got the main telecast on ESPN, the Command Center on ESPNU, Skycast, national radio, home radio. That's our megacast coverage for the college football playoffs. Third down, 8 to go. Ball on the Maryland 21-yard line, 23 seconds to go. NC State with 1 timeout remaining. Finley to the air. Long throw to the sideline, dropped by Lassane. It's 4th down. Ball took a while to get there. And let's see if Dunn comes on. He will for his 3rd field goal try of the half.
That was a good throw there by Ben Finley. One that Keon Lassane needs to bring in for his young quarterback. Nevertheless, though, a successful 2-minute drive if NC State's able to walk away with 3 points headed into halftime.
Winning coach in this game gets a 4-gallon bucket of mayonnaise dumped on his head. The Lou Groza Award winner with his 3rd field goal of the first half. And with 14 seconds to go, the Maryland lead is 10-9. So to go back to the mayonnaise analogy, we're picking at it. We haven't really gone all in with the mayonnaise so far. 10-9, a lot of jabs. I want to see more Jay Arnolds. Take that big spoon, shove it into your mouth in the second half.
I tell you what, I think we're going to have a tremendous second half. The last about half a quarter, things were getting really chippy down there on the field between these two teams. Tempers starting to flare. I think we're going to have some fireworks in the second half.
Last year, South Carolina beat North Carolina in this game, and Shane Beamer had this happen to him. Also got nailed in the head by the bucket. So maybe a mild concussion to go along with a mayonnaise bath. This year, the Duke's Mayo Bowl said, hey, we need to find real dumpers. So they held auditions, they held tryouts, and they've got 2 professional dumpers now who've been getting ready for weeks to do the honors after the game.
What do you think goes into getting prepared to dump the Mayo bucket? What do you do to get ready for that situation?
I'll tell you after the bouncing kick.
Is it extra curls? Is it some squats? Are you doing extra stretches?
Brock, I think it's mindset. You have to be ready for your moment, ready for your close-up.
Be ready and be accurate, right? Like, don't hit the head coach in the head.
If you got a check down, you want to take it instead of throwing the 50-yard go route.
Yeah, otherwise we got to put coach in a helmet.
So this was practice. They held practice yesterday, and they loaded up that bucket. It is a heavy bucket. And guess what? During the practice trial runs, no issues. Miller Yoho is in the chair, a little scared. He's done a great job promoting this bowl game nationally within the Charlotte area. And that will be the final play of the first half. 30 minutes away from one coach getting slimed with twangy Duke's mayonnaise. Terps have a 10-9 lead on NC State. Let's get you to the studio after this short break.
Life is for learning, and that doesn't stop with graduation. A great university goes far beyond campus. It allows you to see the big picture. A great university gives you tools, community, partnership, a launch pad. You don't just go to NC State University. You take us with you. NC State. Think and do.
Welcome to the TikTok Halftime Report.
Love the Drake. Wolfpack fans saying that off this sack. Drake Thomas, NC State holding Maryland to 10 points, 1 touchdown. It's a 10-9 game. Duke's Mayo Bowl at the half here. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players will play tomorrow night. Georgia, Ohio State, the nightcap at the college football playoff semifinal on ESPN, from outside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to inside home of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Cannot wait for this matchup. 1 versus 4. We are standing by outside. How about a beautiful day here in late December? We will take it, considering we live in the cold.
I live in Ohio.
Yeah,
we live in
exactly.
Connecticut. We haven't seen, Homer's seen the sun.
He has seen the sun.
We have not seen the sun.
We will enjoy it. We'll sweat it out in 60-degree weather. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway, Kevin Scott. We're festive, right? We're surrounded by a bunch of bees as well. Happy holidays to you as well. 10-9 game here so far. What are you seeing from Maryland?
They can't get their offense started, and Talia Tagovailoa might be the best passer in Maryland history. He's 9 of 19. So it'll be interesting to see what Mike Locksley does at halftime. There's going to be some adjustments, but right now he can't get things on track.
And NC State's defense, they've given up a couple big plays in the past game, but I think they've been awesome in critical situations, getting the sack on 4th down by their goal line the first drive, getting the pick in the end zone. They got to keep mixing up their looks. For NC State offensively, they got to find a way to run the football, help out their quarterback, Finley.
Run the football and help the quarterback. Bowl mania. Talia Tagovailoa to Octavian Smith Jr. in the end zone, our only touchdown so far. Maryland up 10-9. NC State getting the ball right after this.
There is a formula for progress. It begins with a belief in the power of science, backed by a bold research enterprise. It's compounded by artists and creators who fire our imagination. It's strengthened by unmatched learning experiences and multiplied by different perspectives and ideas. There is a place where these elements converge every day. United in purpose to do good, the University of Maryland, fearlessly forward.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
You're watching the Duke's Mayo Bowl, all a part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Maryland with a 10-9 lead against NC State at the half. Then we are joined in the booth by a very special guest. We've got the official, somewhat creepy mascot of Duke's Mayonnaise. His name is Tubby. He is with us. And Brock, well, you give us your thoughts on the first half. I'm going to take one of these delicious macaroons, and there's only one way to do this. Oh, he brought the mayonnaise. I got it. I need a lot of mayonnaise.
Anish has been dying for this moment in the football game. First half recap, I think it's all defense. If you love a good defensive battle, hard-hitting, turnovers, this is the game for you. We knew NC State's defense, led by Tony Gibson, was going to bring it all today, led by a secondary that won ACC Secondary of the Year, already getting 1 interception today. But it's the Maryland defense that also showed up, holding NC State to 18 rushing yards in the first half.
You want some? You want to try it?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? We're here.
It's pretty good.
Hungry.
It's actually good. The macaroons are really good. Put it in mayo, gives it a little twang.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. Why not?
Oh, come on. More than that. Yeah. That's not a lot.
Well, it's interesting.
Officially, welcome to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, Brock.
Yeah.
Third quarter is underway. Tubby, a pleasure as always. Let's check in with Andrea Carter.
Very impressed with what you're doing up there, Anish. So hats off to you. And Brock talked about the defense on both sides. So I asked both coaches about the quarterbacks. And Mike Loxley said that Talia has been great, but he wants Talia to trust the reads that they are giving him a little bit more. Play with more trust in the reads that are coming in. And for Dave Doran, he said Ben Finley has given them a chance to win, but they have to play better around him for NC State. He said they have to have some run game instead of zero and too many drop balls, guys.
Andrea, thank you. Don't think you're going to get off that easy. We're going to, make you a part of this maelstrom of chaos here. Maelstrom of Mayo, as said, Sebro catches the pass. It'll bring up 2nd down, 6 to go. Underway here in quarter number 3. NC State 3 field goals in the first half. Maryland got a touchdown on a catch from Octavian Smith as Delbert Mims, the redshirt sophomore from Indianapolis, runs out of bounds. It'll bring up 3rd down. Couple of notes here. NC State lost running back Michael Allen in the first half. They're without their starting left guard and starting center today, both first-team all-conference linemen. Devin Carter, one of their top receivers, hit the transfer portal, and Ben Finley will play the whole game. We thought we were going to see both quarterbacks, he and MJ Morris, but MJ Morris still not over his injury, so it'll be Ben Finley. Finley's pass is incomplete. 4th down, flag down in the backfield. Could be a late hit on Greg China Rose.
Finley just nowhere to go with the football. The Maryland Terrapin defense really locking down in man-to-man coverage.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 88. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Not exactly sure where the roughing part is coming from. It seemed like it was well within a step of Ben getting the football off, but I don't know. I think the roughing the passer flag is thrown a little too easily sometimes.
That's coming from a quarterback. I love hearing that from a quarterback.
Hey, listen, the game is football. It's about contact, and that was a clean hit. It was a timely hit. That should not have been a personal foul.
Strong run by Mims and a flag in the backfield.
Holding, offense number 52, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Timothy McKay's 2nd penalty of the game, having a false start earlier. Usually a very solid guy that's very reliable. Honorable mention, all ACC player. Just getting his hands extended a little bit around that right shoulder on the edge. As soon as an official sees a jersey being stretched, hands outside the inside frame of the chest, it's an easy flag.
Finley on the slant, able to complete, and that is Darryl Jones. His helmet comes off, flag down. If the penalty is the reason his helmet came off, he does not have to come out of the game for a play.
They're discussing if it's targeting.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 25, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. The previous play is under replay review.
Targeting has to be confirmed by the booth, and you look at Bo Braid, the safety, forcible contact, head or neck area, and he led with the crown of the helmet. That looks to be textbook targeting.
Yeah, that's a double no-no. Anytime you make contact, forcible contact to the head or neck area, it's going to be targeting. And then when you add the fact that the crown of the helmet, the top 6-inch radius of the helmet, also makes contact to the head and neck area, that's an easy flag. It's going to be called every time.
And you can debate whether Jones was defenseless. In that case, he doesn't appear to be. He's a ball carrier. But that does not apply when it's forcible contact with the crown of the helmet.
Correct, and it's really any contact anywhere on the body with the crown, and it's also for defensive players' safety. One, you're trying to protect the offensive player, but that's dangerous. That's dangerous on the neck, the spine area. They really want guys coming in and making tackles with their face up and the crown pointed to the top.
Now, the one element to this, forcible. Was that forcible enough for you?
Well, what's your definition of
After
forcible?
review, there is no foul for targeting on the play.
I'm a little surprised by that one. Yeah.
Listen, that's a safety coming up, making a tackle on a receiver that's moving. What's not forcible?
Well, he's not defenseless. That's the one area where he's not defenseless. And maybe it was the lowering of the head, which when they look at targeting.
I'm just going to go with I don't know on that one. I need someone.
Usually you make forcible
further
contact with the crown of the helmet. The player does not have to be defenseless. And we've seen that called as targeting many times. It's a break for Maryland. Bo Braid's their leading tackler, gets to stay in the game. Darryl Jones, in that case, did not appear to be defenseless. It looked like he had made a football move, so the only way it's targeting is, again, when you lead with the crown of the helmet and make forcible contact, and it can be anywhere. Crown of the helmet, when there's a player who's not defenseless, it can be low, it can be high, it can be to the side. It doesn't necessarily have to be above the shoulders.
Previous play is under review.
Well, I thought they already reviewed this, Brock. Targeting is reviewed.
You said strange things happen at the Mayo Bowl. Well, strange things are happening right now. Let's go. Hey, let's go review it.
It looks like they're figuring out what the spot of the ball should be.
And I mean, regardless of which way this thing goes, it sounds like it's not going to be targeting. You know, like you said, what a win for Maryland. Bo Braid, the leader of the defense, leads the team in tackles, interceptions, forced fumbles, really the heart and soul of that Maryland defense. So someone definitely that they want to keep on the field.
Now, the more I see it, the more I'm convinced that is targeting.
The ball has been correctly placed at the 47-yard line, and it'll be second down.
Maybe the replay booth can offer up an explanation. 13:29 to go, third quarter, second down, 10 to go.
NC State shifting out to an empty set, running back at the bottom of your screen, cornerback across from him showing zone coverage, coverage indicator.
Low snap and incomplete for Thayer Thomas, third down.
You know, and that's just not the Ben Finley that we've seen, and especially in his last game against North Carolina, winning that final game of the season, making his first career start. He was really accurate. He made good, quick decisions. He was smart with the football, protected the ball. He's had a couple misfires today.
On third down, delayed pressure. Finley zings it over the middle, almost picked. Intended for Thayer Thomas. And it's Bo Braid. That's not Bo Braid, that's 26.
Gavin Gibson. True freshman out there making some plays today. Covering Thayer Thomas on third down. Little two-man coverage, so you have two safeties deep playing halves. Everybody else is playing man coverage underneath. And Finley trying to find that security blanket, and Thayer Thomas, Gavin Gibson having none of it.
Hickory, North Carolina native. They make great furniture out there. And Jay-Sean Jones will return this punt from Noonkester. Now, Maryland treats this bowl game as a way to get young guys in, use it as a launch pad for next season as we get movement.
Delay game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Some type of miscommunication there. The personal protector, tight end Cameron Walker, he was calling for the football to be snapped. Something happened there between him and the long snapper, Joe Shimko. A little bit of miscommunication.
3 false starts now in this game on these punt formations.
A lot of new bodies in there playing special teams with opt-outs, thing like that. A lot of movement within the depth chart headed into bowl season.
Fair catch made at the 27-yard line, and that's where Maryland will take over for their first possession of the third quarter. (10-9) Maryland on top of NC State. Terps have the ball at the 26-yard line, 12:58 to go, third quarter. Anish Shroff, Brock Osweiler, Andrea Carter. Both offenses had their ups and downs. In the first half, NC State struggled to finish drives. Maryland, number of possessions in Wolfpack territory, only a field goal and a touchdown.
You're exactly right. It's not easy sledding for these offenses today. Defenses really showed up to play, making it difficult to get into rhythm, especially for Maryland. You know, they're missing 3 starting receivers that are off to the NFL draft. They're missing a tight end, C.J. Dupree, that's off to Alabama. So they're really working with a smaller, condensed menu. So it's time for Talia Tungavailoa to find Jayshon Jones and Corey Dyches and find a way to get into rhythm.
Now, those are the most reliable pass catchers that are playing in this game as Tungavailoa gets cut down shy of the 30-yard line. Derek Pitts, that nickelback, making the play.
NC State really loading up the box, bringing the extra safety down, playing with a single high safety right now. When you have those single high safety looks, need to take advantage of the pass game.
Jet motion. Felton using the speed and accelerates for a first down across the 40, a pickup of 15.
How about that speed? Derek Pitts right there for North Carolina State to make the play. Not so fast with that track star speed, able to get the edge. Big time play there by Ty Felton.
Tempo by the Terps. There's Hemby. Hit in the backfield and still manages to pick up a yard. Second down. 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Roman Hemby, he and Antoine Littleton got some extended action in the bowl game last year, and Mike Loxley likes to give young guys a chance. For NC State, you go back to last year, their bowl game, the Holiday Bowl against UCLA, pulled at the 11th hour. They were already on the West Coast. UCLA said they had a case of COVID. Game got canceled. Left a bitter taste in their mouth all offseason. Tungavailoa launching it deep downfield in traffic, and it comes out at the last second. Wanted Shalik Knotts in double coverage, and it's broken up. Aiden White and Cyrus Fagan converging.
What a great job by Cyrus Fagan, making sure he gets that ball out. Does not allow Shalik Knotts to come down with the football. You can see why this NC State secondary won Secondary of the Year in the ACC Conference. It is not easy to move the ball down the field against this unit.
They have more interceptions than touchdowns allowed. Wolfpack drop 8. Tungavailoa, clean pocket. Over the middle, wide open, it's Jones. 24 on the play. Jayshon Jones missed last year with an ACL injury. Now a year removed, he's playing his best ball down the stretch.
He certainly is. How about that play call by Dan Enos, just running a basic dagger concept. You have a guy on the inside that clears out the safety down the middle of the field. Then Jayshon Jones wraps in an 18-yard inside dagger route for the first down conversion.
Now Dyches tackled from behind, shy of the marker. Got 6 on the play. About 7. 2nd and 3. Terps staying with the tempo. On the ground. Big hole. Flag down. Hemby gets crunched.
Boy, anytime you see a flag thrown in that direction, it's usually offensive holding.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
The penalty on the left guard, Lunsford, and Rakeem Ashford, one of the young safeties, getting some reps. Looked like Tanner Ingle making a hit.
What hit doesn't Tanner Ingle make? I'll tell you what, I love the way he plays the game, flying around. Heck of a safety.
Felton, the slot receiver, top of your screen. Octavian Smith, the motion man. Tagovailoa. And that's broken up, intended for Felton. And it's Shaheem Battle. No fly zone at times against this secondary.
How about the pass protection by the Maryland offensive line? Giving Talia all day back there. Talia started on the right side of the field. He was trying to work a post route down the middle of the field. NC State playing a zone cover 3 defense, taking away that post. Works all the way back to the left side with his eyes to try to hit the backside dagger. Great job of that offensive line, giving their quarterback time to work.
3rd and long, and now Tony Gibson can get exotic. Here comes the blitz. Tagovailoa escaping, throws on the run. It's caught, and that'll be a first down. A gain of 19, punch knots.
When you're playing Talia Tagovailoa, that's the one thing you cannot allow. If you're going to bring pressure, you need to be gap sound, and you cannot allow him to get outside the pocket because he will beat you.
Hemby, no running room whatsoever. And thrown down by the 3-time captain Isaiah Moore. Drea?
Guys, as we see this Maryland offense move down the field, one thing that's important to note is that Coach Mike Locksley completely reinstalled the offense. So during these practices leading up to the bowl game, he said it was like a complete rerun of the first few days of training camp of spring ball. And I was talking to Jay-Sean Jones, and he said it's really important because sometimes you know what you're doing, but you forget the why. And understanding the why against a defense like NC State has been really important.
I'll tell you what, that's such a great thing that Michael Locksley does for his young players. A lot of those guys playing scout team all year, expected to play big roles in today's game. Tremendous refresher headed into the bowl game.
Tagovailoa runs and slides. They mark him down where he began the slide, just shy of the 15.
Just to piggyback again with what Drea is reporting, you know, as a young player, yes, you hear the installs, you get to run your offense during fall camp, but then as soon as the regular season starts, you move to scout team, and you might not get to run anything that's in your offense for the entire season because you're a scout team guy. Well, Michael Locksley recognizes that, and so the way he opens bowl practice, like Drea said, installs 1 through 4 get reinstalled. It's a great refresher for the vets, but also for the young guys, so they're set to make plays and contribute in the bowl game.
And beyond. Jay-Sean Jones motions. NC State rushing 3. Tagovailoa in trouble. Escaping again. Directing traffic. Throws back across his body. Incomplete for Octavian Smith. And the kick team comes on.
Talia getting a little dangerous with the football again. Already has 1 interception thrown down in the red zone today. Right there doing the cardinal sin. Anytime a quarterback throws back against his body towards the middle of the field, usually bad things happen. Gets away with 1 there. Chance for 3 points.
Chad Ryland, 14 out of 15 inside 50 this year. This from 33. Colton Spangler, the holder. And Ryland shows off his strong leg, makes the field goal. Maryland tacks on 3 more. Terps by 4. The Progressive Bowl Challenge Cup is here at the Dukes Mayo Bowl. It'll be awarded to the conference that has the highest win percentage in the postseason. Big Ten right now at 2-0, small sample size. Pac-12 at 3-1. ACC 4-2. Big 12 at the bottom, 1-5, but a chance to get a big W tomorrow when TCU plays Michigan.
Certainly, but I kind of got my eyes on that Pac-12 selfishly. I like the looks of that, having a heck of a bowl season, but you're exactly right. That TCU-Michigan game tomorrow, I can't wait to kick it off. Have something good on the smoker. TVs are going to be on. Can't wait to see what happens with those playoff games.
(13-9). A game that's featured 4 field goals and a touchdown. NC State has been kept out of the end zone. Tonight, a lot of orange at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Number 6 Tennessee, number 7 Clemson, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Not who we thought would be at quarterback at this point for either team, but it's going to be Milton and Klubnik.
That's going to be another fun one. You got to love bowl season, right? You turn on the TV. It doesn't matter what time of day, what day it is.
Oh.
There's a ball game on. Just turn on ESPN. There's going to be something good.
No Hendon Hooker. He's injured. And DJ Uiagalelei transferred. Ben Finley on first down, throwing downfield. Wanted Thayer Thomas. Covered by Tarheeb Still. The problem for NC State offensively today, they've been entirely one-dimensional. There's been no real run game, and that's been a problem at many points this season.
Certainly, Maryland's defense came to play today. They say, listen, you guys talk about our offense and all the receivers going to the draft, but hey, we can play some ball too. Right there, Tarheeb Still has a big challenge going against Thayer Thomas on the man-to-man big box fade. Does a tremendous job of pushing him towards the sideline and getting him off the landmark that he was shooting for, where Ben Finley was expecting him.
Still normally the nickel, playing outside today without Deontay Banks, who opted out. Pressure off the edge. Blitz is picked up. Finley's pass incomplete for Tootle. Covered by Caleb Wheatland, the freshman. Third down.
You get the sense that this is a big third down. I know we're still early in the third quarter, about halfway through it, but NC State needs to find a rhythm. You can only rely on your defense and special teams for so long. You either got to find something in the run game, got to find a shot downfield. Ben Finley needs to look for Thayer Thomas here, find a way to get a fresh set of downs.
Finley now under 50%, 16 out of 34. 3 down linemen for Maryland. They'll drop 8. Over the middle, incomplete. And 3 and out. The Wolfpack go.
Boy, that was a good play call by Kurt Roper, just trying to get the inside halfback screen behind the offensive line, which was perfect because Maryland dropped 8 into coverage. Everyone sank back to the sticks. That was basically going to be like a punt return in space if Ben Finley was able to connect.
Jay Sean Jones will return this punt from Noonkester. Caden Noonkester took over midseason for Shane McDonough as the team's primary punter. We've seen 3 false start penalties on these punt formations. Good kick. Jones inside his own 25. And spun down at about the 27-yard line. A 52-yard boot by Noonkester.
Welcome back to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, where mayonnaise goes on absolutely everything and custom shoes are necessary. So custom shoes by the Duke's Mayo crew. Very much appreciated here. And actually, I was told that they couldn't make shoes for Brock because he wears a size 30 in shoes. Brock, can you confirm or deny?
30, huh?
Yep, size 30.
Bigger than what Shaq wears.
That's what I was told. I don't know. I can't deny the rumors.
Know, you're just a little off. I rock a 16 most days.
Got
but
it.
30 to some people.
Greatness. It's greatness regardless.
Brock's the only one not wearing his shoes, I might add. Tagovailoa to throw, and it's off the hands of Felton.
You know, the Air Force Ones are just a little bit more comfortable when you're standing on your feet for 4 or 5 hours. But hey, maybe I'll throw on the Converse Duke's Mayo when I head to the grocery store the next time. Go buy some mayo in them.
We may make you do some things with food if you don't put them on. How did that macaroon with mayo taste?
Not the best macaroon I've ever had in my life, but the deviled eggs with the Duke's Mayo, those, my friend, are outstanding.
Ramon Brown, he's a running back receiver hybrid right at the line of scrimmage, 3rd down. You know, it's funny, we were joking with both coaches earlier in the week. Hey, how terrified are you of winning this game? The winner gets 4 gallons of mayonnaise dumped on their head. This game is sort of played out like nobody wants to win.
I can promise you both those head coaches are not concerned about the mayo dump. They both want to win this football game. It means a lot for both of their programs. I can promise you they're not scared of a little Mayo if it means they won a ball game.
On third down, a flag.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Somebody brought it up to me earlier in the week, and they said, wouldn't it make sense for the losing coach to have the mayonnaise dumped on his head?
That might make a little more sense depending on how you feel about mayonnaise, but that's not how we do things.
That's not
here.
the spirit of this bowl game.
That's not how we do it here.
Mayo's the reward, even if Dave Dorn doesn't like it. On third down, 14 to go. Tagovailoa eluding the pursuit. Shovels it off in the flat. It's Hemby who gets out across the 35. Still going to be shy of the sticks. They'll mark him down at the 34. It's fourth down, and defenses have dominated so far tonight.
I tell you what a great effort by Talia Tagovailoa.
Number 35 is now wearing number
Maryland
96
did not pick up the
from
first down,
Maryland.
but I tell you what, the competitive spirit that he plays with, the passion, the grittiness, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Spangler to kick to Thayer Thomas. Thomas has one punt return touchdown. That came against Ball State in 2019. This one chases him inside the 20. And run out of bounds after a 2-yard return on a 47-yard kick right into the Maryland bench. NC State went into the season with Devin Leary as its quarterback. He was the ACC preseason player of the year. They were 4-0 in the games that he started. Some of them maybe were closer than they should have been. We did the season opener against East Carolina. He went down, and it became a quarterback shuffle for the final 8 games. Jack Chambers, MJ Morris, Ben Finley starting his second straight game today.
Give Dave Dorn and his staff a ton of credit. Playing 4 quarterbacks, starting 4 quarterbacks this year and winning ball games with all 4 of them. A credit to his staff and how they go about things and how they coach their players up.
And the run game continues to get no traction. A loss for Jordan Houston. Interestingly enough, the Panthers, who play their home games on this field, they've won games with 3 starting quarterbacks this year. So sort of fitting NC State would play on this field.
Tell you what, it's tough sledding inside, running the football. You got a couple defensive tackles in there weighing 320 pounds. If NC State's going to get the run game going, they need to try the perimeter and also put the ball in Ben Finley's hands and let him push it down the field.
Finley's pass too high and off target again. Intended for Anthony Smith, the speedster.
I think the thing that Ben Finley did so great in the North Carolina game where they ended up beating their arch rival in double overtime is he got the football out quickly. He made quick decisions. They had some quick game going. They had some screens going, and they really made him comfortable. They need to find a way to get back to those quicker throws to get Ben Finley in a rhythm because they're going to need him as this game progresses along.
Fanaje Gote limped off. Finley just 2 of his last 10, 6 straight incompletions.
These are those moments when you need to feed your most veteran, your best players, and that's Thayer Thomas for this NC State offense. Thayer moving down to the bottom of your screen in the slot. Someone needs to find a way to create a spark for this NC State offense. No one better than Thayer Thomas.
5 wide on 3rd and long. There's a completion. It's Porter Rooks. Local kid still shy of the marker. 4th down and another punt for NC State. So very little offense here in the second half. Maryland's got a field goal. NC State, it's been a lot of Caden Noonkester, the punter.
It's a great job by Maryland's defense understanding where the first down sticks were. They dropped in zone to those sticks, rallied to the tackle with Porter Rooks. You can tell both these football teams are coached very well.
Tarheeb still awaits inside the 35. And a fair catch called for and made at the 29. The All-State Sugar Bowl is tomorrow, noon Eastern on ESPN. Bryce Young and at number 5, Alabama take on Deuce Vaughn and at number 9, Kansas State. First meeting between these schools, and it'll be played at the Superdome in New Orleans. Kansas State beat TCU at the end of the season in a wild finish in the Big 12 championship. And now for Alabama, the standard is so high. They win 10 games, people roll their eyes. You're not in the playoff. You didn't win a championship. Hemby crushed in the backfield. One guess.
Who else but Tanner Ingle flying in like an absolute missile. That is his game. That's what he does. And that's what has NFL scouts salivating to get their hands on this kid at the next level.
9 tackles, 2 in the backfield. Looked like Jack Tatum, the assassin, coming through.
He's just a heck of a football player. Not only does he bring the physical nature to the safety position, but it's how he reads and diagnoses things so quickly to be able to make those plays.
2nd and 11, a loss of a yard. The screen. Felton bubbles to the outside and moves the chains for Maryland. That's his trait, speed.
And you're also seeing why left tackle Jalen Duncan is being talked about in the first round. On that screenplay, that's Jalen Duncan's job to get out to the perimeter and seal off the cornerback. Does it with ease at 6'6", 320 pounds. Allows Ty Felton to use his speed and pick up a first down. Guys his size just don't move like that, and that's why first round buzz is all around Jalen Duncan.
Hemby, not much.
Boy, I tell you what, there are some collisions. Isaiah Moore coming up, meeting Joseph Burns in the hole. A lot of pads popping. This is a physical football game.
Now look how quickly Tanner Ingle gets there.
Isaiah Moore takes on the lead blocker, allows Tanner Ingle to fill the gap, make the tackle. You can see why this NC State defense is so special and played at a championship level all season.
Throw to the outside and underthrown. It was caught. It's 3rd down near midfield.
Boy, I thought that football skipped.
Yeah, I thought it did. It was ruled a catch. They may look at this. We'll look at it on replay. And that's incomplete.
Ruling on the field is a completed catch. The previous play is under review.
Boy, that seemed to be pretty clear cut. We've been pretty quick today with a few reviews, and then you have gone taking a couple extra minutes.
Jayshon Jones, sort of the last man standing in what was a star-studded Maryland receiving group. Rakim Jarrett, Jacob Copeland, Dante Demas all opting out to focus on the draft. Tight end C.J. Dupree transferred, committed to Alabama. Those are 4 of your top 7 pass catchers, and with Copeland, Demas, and Rakim Jarrett, those are all guys who will have a chance to play on Sunday.
No, they certainly will. They lost a lot of firepower at that wide receiver position for the bowl game, but boy, what a pleasant conversation we had with Jayshon Jones this week. He had a lot of praise for his coaches. He had a lot of praise for the young receivers that were going to step into this game, how hard they work, how much they want to learn, they're sponges of the game, and then just talking about Talia Tagovailoa, saying the leader that he is, he elevates all of us.
After review, the receiver was unable to secure possession of the ball. The ball skipped, hit the ground, resulting in an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down.
Jones has been through 2 ACL injuries in his career. Started to find his stride late in the season, and Mike Locksley said the further you get removed from that surgery, the better he'll be. And he played his best game of the year in the regular season finale against Rutgers. 9 catches, 152, both career highs. And without question, he is their most established wideout in this game. On third down, Taulia Tagovailoa looking to escape. They did not rule him down, and now he goes down. It's Peyton Wilson.
Peyton Wilson there once again, flying around with his hair on fire today. Tony Gibson bringing another man pressure. Taulia just nowhere to go with the football and not able to escape the pocket pressure. I tell you what, the motor that Peyton Wilson plays with, you can see why NFL scouts
Maryland is now wearing number 96.
Are so excited about this linebacker. He can make plays out in space against an athlete like Taulia. He can cover, he can fill the gaps in the run game, he can set the edge. It's a big-time football player there.
Taulia walked off the field slowly, looked to be okay. Good punt. Thomas can't make the catch. It rolls inside the 10, and Maryland downs it at the 6-yard line. Colton Spangler flipped the field.
Yes, he did. Honorable mention, all conference in the Big Ten this year, had a tremendous season. You can see why there. Been in the NC State offense that's been struggling in the second half inside the 10-yard line.
1:05 to go in the third. A 63-yard punt for Spangler. Ike Ekwonu down on the NC State sideline. First-round pick of the Carolina Panthers. He's Charlotte all the way. Grew up in Charlotte. Now plays professionally in Charlotte. Played college ball in state. And he has stabilized the left tackle position for the Panthers, which had been a revolving door since Jordan Gross retired.
There's the run game for NC State. That's what you need to do with a young redshirt freshman quarterback making his second career start. You need to take those 4-yard runs. It's not going to be easy. Maryland's defense came to play today. They got some big fellas on the inside, 320 pounds, 330 pounds. But if you can get 4 yards a clip inside with that tough running, that's something you'll take all day.
DeMarcus Jones. And you're going to lose some. So you made progress on first down. You give almost all of it back on second down. The run game has provided very little. And Maryland will take a 4-point lead to the fourth quarter. Mike Loxley might want to get that big hat ready. The Terps have won 11 straight when leading after 3 quarters. And that means Mike Loxley is 15 minutes away
third quarter
from a mayonnaise bath.
Golden brown delicious, looks like perfection on a plate.
When we came up with our fried chicken sandwich, I just looked at our team and said, you guys come up with a special sauce for this. And they chose Duke's mayonnaise, ketchup, some roasted red pepper, and then just a couple of other special seasonings.
Beautiful. Wow, wow, wow. Gorgeous.
Start of the fourth quarter, we are 15 minutes away from dumping 4 gallons of Duke's mayonnaise on the winning head coach. Anish Shroff, Brock Osweiler, Andrea Carter. Haven't had a lot of offense. Both defenses have dominated today. Can the offense open up a jar of mayo in these final 15 minutes?
I'll tell you what, give the defenses credit. Playing very disciplined football. It's been physical, hard hits, old school football today.
Third down, 8 to go for NC State. Inside the 10. 3-man rush. Finley fires a strike to Thomas. And he appears to have it up for a first down. He does by 2 yards.
What a great route by Thayer Thomas. Can't be surprised, right? He's the go-to guy on third down. Takes advantage of the 3-deep buzz defense. Maryland was playing, finds the soft spot in the zone, turns out away from the defender with inside leverage. Way to get open for the young quarterback, Ben Finley.
DeMarcus Jones running left and tackled from behind. Vandarius Cowan, 6th-year senior, well-traveled, Alabama, West Virginia, Maryland with the tackle.
about those Thomas brothers. You got one on offensive side of the ball making plays, one on defense, all conference players, all world players. They've done everything for this North Carolina State Wolfpack team. Two guys that are a lot of fun to watch. Can't wait to see them on Sundays.
They are one of the most accomplished receivers in NC State history, second all-time in catches and touchdown receptions. Jones going wide. We get a flag. Finley bounces the ball in mild frustration.
Definitely been a little bit of rust with both these
Offside.
teams.
Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Dylan McMahon.
Not playing a football game in a little over 3 weeks. It started some of these little things that start to add up that you're not used to doing.
NC State's last game was the Friday after Thanksgiving. Second and long. Finley, his pass batted down, and then he wisely bats it down incomplete. For a moment, it looked like he thought about getting himself a reception and then batted it down to make sure it was 3rd and 14, not 3rd and 20.
You're exactly right. He did. He kind of looked up and was like, hey, should I grab this thing and take off and run? Very heads-up football play. You can see the football IQ. Bat it down, move on to the next play. It's one of those ones, though, that as a quarterback, you're kind of grateful it got tipped. Maryland was right there trying to run underneath the hitch route. Could have been ugly for Ben Finley if that didn't get tipped.
Have you ever caught one of those?
I did. I goofed one time. Monday Night Football down in Mexico City, but I was down in the low red zone. I was trying to get myself a touchdown.
Finley with the pressure coming and finds Jones on the screen. Got a block on the outside and a first down.
What a great job by center Dylan McMahon getting out in front, leading the charge for DeMarcus Jones. Does a tremendous job. You can see the athleticism getting out there, leading the way. Then you get big Cooper, Lyndon Cooper delivering a big-time block. Great execution by the NC State Wolfpack.
McMahon starting at center in place of the injured Grant Gibson. Grant was a first-team all-conference center for NC State. No Chandler Zavala. First-team all-conference left guard. Michael Allen, who had come on late as running back, he got hurt in this game. He's out for the game. Jones, only a yard, and to top it all off, Ben Finley making his second start of the season, the fourth different quarterback to start. When you look at NC State, you have to couch their season with how things happened and not what preseason expectations were. We had them week one, and they talked about ACC championship, winning 10 games, which had only been done once. But when you look at how things played out, 8-4, quite an accomplishment.
I think it's mightily impressive, and credit Dave Dorn and the rest of his coaching staff with how they go about their business. When you have 4 different starting quarterbacks in one season and you find a way to win 8 ball games, I don't care how good your defense is doing, you're doing some darn good things within your building.
Julian Gray sets up a 3rd and 5.
I think it really shows a lot of the grittiness, the toughness that Dave Dorn has brought to this program. And these guys don't blink. There could have been a lot of times throughout the season they could have packed it up, probably had a 6-6 season, 5-7, 7-5. But no, to accomplish 8 games, be right on the heels of Clemson. Credit to the NC State Wolfpack.
Finley looking to the sideline as the play clock trickles down. Maryland rushing 3. Finley tipped in, nearly picked by Gote. 4th down, he wanted Rooks, who was surrounded by white shirts.
Boy, what a play by Dante Trader there at the safety position, recognizing how NC State was trying to attack the middle of the field, jump the route. Almost came up with an interception there. Great play by Dante Trader.
Dante Trader, originally committed to Maryland as a 2-sport star, lacrosse and football. Top 5 lacrosse recruit coming out of high school. Maryland lacrosse reigning national champions coming off an undefeated season. Fourth straight possession ending in a punt for NC State. Tarheeb still signals for a fair catch and makes it inside his 15-yard line. 11:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Have you ever had deviled eggs with mayonnaise, Brock? Think about it. Back here at the Duke's Mayo Bowl, they had a deviled egg eating contest at halftime. And Brock, we're easing you into this. It's your first Mayo Bowl experience. Obviously, deviled eggs and mayo go together. Yeah. So, how many can you crush?
I'll do deviled eggs any day. I think I had about a half dozen at halftime, in fact. Now the macaroon, that's a different.
Now you want a little extra mayo on there?
Why wouldn't I? Hey, no one makes a deviled egg like my mom, but I'll give this one a shot.
Yeah, see, this is tame. So,
they're number 7. Should I go for 8? I think they're great just the way they are.
Oh.
This is fantastic. And you know what? Put me in a deviled egg eating contest. I'll play ball any day in that one.
I'm going to have to call a play now.
What an
intercepted by NC State.
What a catch. Way to bring that one in. Raheem Ashford. What a play. And you are starting to get the sense, right? Offenses not able to move the football. Who was going to make the big play on defense or special teams? Well, now we know. Raheem Ashford coming up with the big-time turnover for the NC State Wolfpack defense.
It's the second interception for the Wolfpack. The 19th this season. They went in a bowl season 3rd nationally in interceptions. More interceptions than touchdown passes allowed this season, and it's Ashford.
Well, I tell you what, that secondary, just a ball hawk secondary. Tremendous feel for going up, making the play. That ball's in there. They don't feel like they're defensive backs. They attack it like receivers.
The previous play is under review.
And they will review that last catch. Verdict on the deviled eggs. Pretty good, huh?
Oh, fantastic.
Ruling on the field was a catch, so indisputable video evidence needed to overturn it. And the question is, does he complete the act of making a catch?
From the initial angles that we've seen, you would say yes. There's no indisputable video evidence saying it was not a catch.
And again, if there's any shred of doubt, you default to the ruling on the field.
If this stands, I mean, just how fitting is this for the NC State football season, right? They have an offense that in all their regular season games, they did not have the same 11 starters one time. They really leaned on that defense throughout the season. Today, they're in this defensive battle with Maryland. And now, once again, if this holds, now you just gave your offense a short field and a chance to really take over the momentum in the fourth quarter.
After review, the ruling on the field of an interception by the defense stands as called.
Now the question is, can NC State capitalize? 4 straight possessions that have ended in punts. No running game to speak of. And a lot of that has to do with what Maryland is doing up front. They've dominated the trenches.
Sudden change. Offenses like to take shots down the field a lot of times. You see 2 safeties deep for Maryland, rotating down to a single high safety look.
Finley to the air. Finds Tootle, the tight end. NC State in the red zone, down to the 16-yard line, a gain of 18 on the play.
Great job of taking advantage of the energy in the stadium, the sudden change moment. Ben Finley pumping left, trying to work a stutter go. It was covered well by Maryland. Coming back to the tight end, running the crossing route across the middle of the field.
And when you get into bowl games, teams, coaches, they have trick plays too. And don't be surprised if NC State digs into its bag of tricks. Houston made the first guy miss. And gets inside the 15, second down.
Great job by Jordan Houston making the first miss. Quick sidestep right at the line of scrimmage. Find some positive yards for his offense as they continue to inch closer to the goal line.
Finley for the end zone, incomplete. Wanted Lassane. In coverage was Corey Coley, sophomore wearing number 3. That's the number Deontay Banks wore most of the season.
Great coverage there by Corey Coley. Did a great job getting his head around, locating the football.
So now third down, 6 to go. Tootle, the tight end, motions. Low snap. Screen pass. Houston driven out of bounds by Gote.
Maryland taking a little page out of Tony Gibson's defense and bringing a blitz zero of their own, forcing the quick pass, doing a great job of rallying, making the tackle. That's exactly what you want to do on that third down situation in the lower red zone, is you want to force a quick throw by the quarterback, rally to the tackle, and force them to attempt a field goal.
And Maryland's defense holding NC State to a field goal again. Dunn has been the offense for the Wolfpack. This his 4th field goal attempt. It's from 26. Top kicker in the nation. 3 more for NC State, but they're still down 1. Maryland's lead 13-12. 9:23 to go, 4th quarter at Bank of America Stadium.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl is brought to you by Duke's Mayo, the official condiment of the tailgate.
Allison on the left, Kevin in the gray sweatshirt on the right. That was yesterday, the dress rehearsal for the Mayo dump that will happen after the game for the winning coach, Andrea.
Listen, Anish, these two are very excited to be the dunkers this season. Now, Duke's Mayo did a sweepstakes, and you had to enter in to win the chance to be the dunker. So, Kevin, what did you do to win?
I just bombarded them on Twitter with videos and memes and all sorts of stuff, just constantly.
There we go. Bombardment. That's the key. Now, Allison, what was your method to become a dunker?
So I own a macaron business, so I made Duke's Mayo macarons, and I made them for another chef, but I tagged Duke's mayonnaise in it. I put mayonnaise in the ganache, so kind of Dukesified them. So a chef's kiss to become a dunker. Was it like bicep curls or chest press, or what was the method to become strong enough to dunk gallons of mayonnaise?
I went and bought a water cooler and filled it with water and practiced lifting that.
There we go.
Okay. In our bakery, Little Blue Bakehouse in Raleigh, I lift sugar bags, 50-pound sugar bags, like every single day. So I just kept lifting sugar and trying to lift it above my head, plus 2 very heavy young children.
Shameless promo. I love that one. I'll be there, too.
Please, I'll get you hooked up with sweets.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
There is considerable pressure on those two. Last year, Shane Beamer got hit in the back of the head while sitting down for his Mayo bath. But they have experience with feats of strength. On first down, Tagovailoa's pass incomplete for Knotts.
I love this opportunity Talia Tagovailoa has right now with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the ball game. He's thrown 2 interceptions today. He's been a little bit off, but he's also made some plays. There's NFL scouts right now in this stadium wondering, hey, can he shake off those 2 interceptions and find a way to move down the field and try to seal this win against a championship-level defense?
Screen pass. It's caught by Smith. Breaks the tackle and then maneuvers through a sea of black across the 30. It'll set up third down and much more manageable. And Shaheem Battle down on one knee back at the 20, calling for help. It was Battle who tried to make the initial tackle. will step aside. 3rd and 3, Maryland. 9:03 to go, fourth quarter. First meeting between NC State and Maryland since 2013. That was Maryland's final season in the ACC. In fact, the Terps' last ACC game came against NC State. It was Dave Doran's first season. NC State was 0-8 in conference. They have not played since, but they've played 71 times now through their history. This the 71st meeting. Both teams have won 33, 4 ties. It's 3rd down and 3 for the Terps. Tagovailoa to the air, lets it fly. He's got Dyches, makes the catch for a first down in NC State territory.
Great job by Talia Tagovailoa to recognize that it was man coverage and find the best matchup for him that was advantage Maryland. Corey Dyches listed as a tight end, but he's kind of that hybrid. Is he a tight end? Is he a receiver? Well, Corey Dyches was being covered by safety Tanner Engel. Corey Dyches and his athleticism win there.
Davin Vann, one of the starting D linemen for NC State, down at the 25. Dyches was one of the more productive Big Ten tight ends this season.
It's such a weapon to have on your football team. When you have a tight end that can put his hand in the ground, he can block, he can run routes. When you have safeties and linebackers trying to cover him, your tight end's going to win every time.
Now the Terps fans getting loud. 8:50 to go. Meanwhile, Vann is still down back at the 25.
This is great. You can see what this game means to both of these respective fan bases. You can see it with the players, with how physical they've been playing, and John down there on the field today. You can tell both these schools want bragging rights on this one.
It's the fourth quarter, Brock. That Mayo really starts to hit right about now.
Oh, the Mayo.
Second half, it's been a field goal for each team. It was 10-9 at halftime. Maryland added 3. NC State with 3 on its last drive. And Vann is up, slowly walking off under his own power as Dave Doran comes to greet him. Dave Doran next season with a chance to become the winningest head coach in NC State history. He's got 72 wins right now. Earl Edwards is number 1 with 77.
A lot of really good pieces coming back for this NC State Wolfpack team for Coach Doran to work with. Yes, they're losing some stars, they're losing some leaders, but there's a lot of really good, young, rock-solid pieces on this Wolfpack team.
Here's the blitz. The give is to Hemby. Second level. That's the danger when you bring pressure. And Hemby able to pick up 9.
Wow, Tanner Engel was right on Hemby's heels, blitzing off the edge, just not able to make the tackle. Good hard run by Roman Hemby.
No huddle. Hemby again swallowed up in the backfield. 3rd down.
Drake Thomas rolling in from the linebacker position, just absolutely pancaking an offensive lineman. Normally it's the other way around. You see the offensive lineman pancaking the smaller linebacker. You can see why you'll be watching Drake Thomas on Sundays.
11 TFLs by this Wolfpack defense. 3rd down, 4 to go from the 32.
Good, smart decision by Talia Tagovailoa is needed here. You're right on the cusp of field goal range. Be smart with the football.
Quick screen, it's Jones. To the outside, reaching. And this is going to be awfully close. Enough for a first down.
Wow. What an effort by Jayshon Jones, looking like he might only gain a yard or 2, finds a way to pick up the first down off the quick screen throw out to the receiver. Good smart play call there. Great job picking up a fresh set of downs. And now you can see Maryland really slowing things down. The way their defense has been playing, they know that they're now in a good position. They have a rock-solid kicker. Trying to melt some clock.
Tagovailoa. Incomplete. He wanted Leon Houghton, who only has one catch all season. Freshman from Richmond.
I tell you what, I love this NC State defense. You have Drake Thomas in the picture making plays. Isaiah Moore's right there in coverage making plays. And then Tanner Ingle finishes it off with the coverage. I tell you what, you can see why this defense was so special this year. These guys are smart football players. They fly around. Their assignment sound. It is not easy to move the football against this defense.
And with Maryland, you've seen how they miss the experience of a Jarrett, a Demas, a Copeland. A couple of dropped balls by some inexperienced players today. Burns had one earlier. Deitchus in motion. Hemby. Met for a loss back at the 30. Peyton Wilson and Isaiah Moore. These three linebackers we highlighted at the top of the broadcast, those two and Drake Thomas, for multiple years now. They've been the pulse of that defense.
It's so fun to watch. You know, that unit, those three guys, they have a combined 114 career starts. They play the game the right way. They're smart football players and a ton of fun to watch. 27 combined tackles today. 5.5 in the backfield. On 3rd and 11. Tagovailoa rolling to his right. Nowhere to go. Trying to escape and pushed out of bounds. It'll bring up 4th down. Only a yard on the play. NC State got to the edge quickly. Nice play that time by Brandon Cleveland, a young freshman who's really taken on an expanded role as a backup D lineman late in the season. Certainly, and great decision there by Talia Tagovailoa. Nothing was open downfield. He did the next best thing. He protected the football, especially with a kicker like Chad Ryland, who has already hit a 53-yarder this season. You feel like you're well within his distance to try to expand this lead.
This a 45-yarder. And Ryland's kick is good. He's got a strong leg. 16-12, Maryland leading NC State. It's been a field goal fest in the Mayo Bowl. (16-12) Maryland on top. For those of you looking for South Carolina and Notre Dame in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, that game will start on ESPN2. South Carolina was in this game last year, beat North Carolina, and it was Shane Beamer who got the Mayo bath. Dumpers got him on the back of the head. Allison and Kevin handling the dumping duties today after an extended search. And this game still very much up in the air. 5:36 to go. It's a 4-point game. And we get a flag on the kick out of bounds, so NC State will start at the 35.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Receiving team is elected to take the ball at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
The issue for NC State today, they have not been able to get in the end zone. All their offense, field goals. A couple of times, 4th down and short, they've elected to kick. They've got a great kicker, the best in the country. You're going to need a touchdown, though.
Certainly, and what a great opportunity for redshirt freshman quarterback Ben Finley, who's going to be going into a quarterback competition this spring against MJ Morris. What a chance to go down, lead your team to a potential victory, and really put your name in the hat to be the guy next year for the Wolfpack.
Finley throws downfield, a lot of contact, and here come the flags. Bo Braid and Darryl Jones getting into it. Jones, the former Terrapin.
Probably a heads-up smart play there by Bo Braid. He realized he was beat, didn't want to give up the touchdown. It's a smart play. That's one of the, when the coach is watching film the next day, he's not upset about that penalty.
Pass interference, defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And in college,
correction,
that's not a
number 25.
Correct. No. That's my point. To me, it's a heads-up football play. Bo Braid thinking Darryl Jones is about to break out. Darryl sticks his foot in the ground. He goes to run the post. Smart play to save the touchdown.
Braid, the leading tackler for Maryland. On the delay, Jones straight ahead. Not much. DeMarcus Jones, former walk-on, put on scholarship last March.
Tell you what, give this Maryland defensive line a lot of credit. They were in a 3-man rush there. They had a 2-high safety defense. They're dropping everyone into coverage. NC State has the advantage. They have the numbers. They have 5-on-3. Yes, there is a 4th linebacker in the box. Even then, 5-on-4, and they're still not able to get the run game going against Maryland.
Less than 5 minutes to go now. Another low snap. Finley downfield, 50-50 for Jones off his hand. Ja'Cory and Bennett in coverage. It's 3rd down and 9, and NC State without the run game. And we've seen this at other points in the season. They've become so one-dimensional.
Yeah, certainly, and it's tough right now. This Maryland defense is stingy. You're trying to throw the football against Ja'Cory and Bennett, who leads the nation in passes defended over the last 2 seasons. He's an honorable mention All Big Ten player. Tell you what, these defenses showed up today.
Finley setting up the screen. Maryland read it. It's incomplete, intended for Jones. 4th down.
What a heads-up play by linebacker Ruben Hippolyte, recognizing NC State was trying to get the running back screen going. He diagnosed the play, broke it up.
And it looks like the offense may stay out on the field. What do you think of this call?
You know, I don't mind it. You've struggled to move the football all day. You're at the 50-yard line. The clock is slowly winding down towards the end of the game. You don't know if you will get field position like this moving forward.
Play clock down to 5, down to 4. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
I think they're just going to take the delay of game and get a little more cushion for the punt.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Dave Doran, who does not like mayonnaise, would be subject to a mayonnaise bath if NC State were to come back and win. Mike Locksley, he's got one of those big boss noggin hats that he brought with him for a little protection against the mayonnaise if it's Maryland that holds on. Terps looking for first back-to-back bowl win since 02-03 under Ralph Friedgen. NC State can cap its 4th 9-win season under Dave Doran with a W today, and it would be back-to-back 9-win seasons. Noonkester to punt. Tarheeb still waits at the 10. And a timeout by Maryland. They've
First
got 2 left.
Timeout, Maryland. 30 seconds.
Monday, we'll have 2 of the oldest and most prestigious bowl games on ESPN. It's Tulane and USC in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. And then number 11 Penn State against number 8 Utah in the Rose Bowl. Tulane winning the American Conference this year. USC putting together a strong first season under Lincoln Riley. Penn State, Utah comes your way at 5 Eastern with the sun setting in Pasadena. What do you make of the timeout there, Brock?
You know, it just looked like Maryland might have only had 10 players on the field.
Oh, that's 4 penalties now when teams have been lined up for a punt between both teams.
Offside, defense with contact, number 32. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
It looks like that won't change the decision, so essentially that 5-yard delay of game goes right back. So maybe NC State takes another delay of game.
Yeah, it's goofy. But listen, I just think you're seeing these special teams penalties because you have guys stepping into these starting roles that they've been playing scout team all year. You know, they're not quite used to these game reps, been a little bit sloppy, which is uncharacteristic of these 2 programs and the way they're coached.
Still out of bounds, shy of the 25-yard line. We remind you that the Capital One post-game will be on the ESPN app immediately following the game. You can see the Mayo dump there. I'm sure the studio will cut in with the Mayo dump as well at the start of the next game. 4:30 to go, fourth quarter. Maryland has the ball. NC State with all 3 timeouts. Terps have it at the 22-yard line. And there is the trophy. For those looking for the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, South Carolina, Notre Dame. Turn over to ESPN2. We'll pick that up when we finish up here in Charlotte.
4-minute offense. You always say to your offensive line, hey, let's go run to win the football game. But it has not been easy to run today against this NC State defense. You just get the feeling Talia's going to need to make a play with his arms somewhere on this drive.
Hemby on first down with a strong run out close to the 30-yard line. It sets up a 2nd and 2, and Maryland will take its time here. Roman Hemby, 19 carries, 48 yards. Less than 30 yards away from a 1,000-yard season as a redshirt freshman.
Freshman All-American, honorable mention, All Big Ten. Tremendous redshirt freshman campaign for Roman Hemby. You can really see Maryland's going to melt the clock. They're going to snap it somewhere around 2-3 seconds left on the play clock, wanting to melt down as much as they possibly can.
Tagovailoa keeps it, little speed option. Octavian Smith moves the chains. So Maryland knows it needs a few more first downs if you're NC State. When do you start using those timeouts?
Definitely not yet. You know, you still have plenty of time. I think you're going to have to look at it. If Maryland's able to pick up one more first down, that's when you need to start thinking about burning those timeouts.
Tanner Engel is down. He's played a heck of a game on the back end for NC State, but he's been down now 3 times. Ten tackles today for Engel. He's been in the backfield a couple of times. Wolfpack with 11 TFLs, 4 sacks.
For Maryland, right now your goal is to get the clock with 2 minutes to go in the game with NC State with no timeouts. When you do that, that's when you get to see the greatest formation in football, victory formation. You go out there, you take 3 knees, game's done.
Terps playing their 2nd game in the city of Charlotte. Back on the 10th of September, a 56-21 win against UNC Charlotte, the 49ers. For NC State, this is the 8th time they've played in this stadium all time. 4th bowl game in this stadium, and they've played 4 regular season games here as well, as Engel is limping toward the sideline. NC State will have a new look offensively next year with Robert Anai calling the plays. We saw him in the hallway outside of our booth. He was on the phone at halftime. You look at his work at BYU, he was able to run the ball there with Bronco Mendenhall. Went to Virginia. Brennan Armstrong was breaking records left and right, and then he got the best out of Garrett Schrader this past season at Syracuse. Dave Dorn said, I like the fact that he can work with the personnel you give him and fit his scheme to the pieces that you have. And Dave Dorn also said his offenses were a nightmare to match up against. Now we've got him on our side. For Maryland, they're building something under Mike Locksley. You're starting to see momentum. So much chatter about all the receivers who weren't playing. We've seen some young receivers who need seasoning, but boy, the talent is there. And they've got 2 young backs in Hemby and Littleton with a lot of good football ahead of them. They hand it off here, and not much. Brings up 2nd down. Use a timeout here.
First charge timeout, North Carolina State.
NC State really playing those safeties low. They know Maryland's trying to run out the clock. They're playing them at about 8 yards. You can see they're triggering downhill. Great job by NC State being very gap disciplined there on that last play.
You saw Ike Ekwonu on the NC State sideline a moment ago. Anchored the NC State offensive line a season ago. First-round pick of the Carolina Panthers.
This is going to be interesting to see what Maryland wants to do here. Obviously, you need to keep the clock running. So the initial common sense thing would say, well, hey, let's run the football. Well, NC State's selling out to the run. So do you consider moving Talia Tungavailoa outside the pocket to where if the receiver or tight end's not wide open and it's going to be a guaranteed completion, he can just tuck the ball and run to keep that clock moving?
2 timeouts left for NC State. 2:48 to go in regulation. Maryland with a 4-point lead and the ball. Jones, the motion man. Hemby gets the call. Fights past Battle, who stood him up originally. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Second
the Wolfpack
charge
have
timeout.
1 timeout left.
North Carolina State.
And Maryland knows if they can get 5 yards here, that's pretty much going to be the ball game.
Certainly is. NC State knows that. They recognize that. They're going to be selling out here on this 3rd down play. Like I said prior, look for Maryland to try to get Tungavailoa outside the pocket to where he can be dangerous with his legs, but also possibly beat you with his arm.
So for you, an RPO or a pass play certainly on the table here.
Absolutely. I want to give my quarterback options on this 3rd down. You know, if you pick up this 3rd down conversion, more than likely you're going to win the football game. Well, Talia, he's most comfortable when he gets outside the pocket. So I'd love to sell a little run on the inside, get him to the outside, get him to the perimeter where he can either tuck the ball and run for a 1st down or he can throw for a 1st down.
That's his best trait, the ability to extend plays and to run and pass while on the move. 3rd and 5. Maryland needs to get to its own 48. Jones in motion. Tungavailoa running, and he's clipped in the backfield. It'll bring up 4th down.
3rd and final charge timeout. North Carolina State. Game clock operator, please restore the game clock to 2:39.
Very safe play call there by Dan Enos. Not willing to take any chances with the football with a 4-point lead here late in the 4th quarter. Just the dialed up, called, pre-snap decision, quarterback run. Talia Tungavailoa just not able to find any holes in that Wolfpack defense to pick up the 1st down.
NC State using that final timeout, so they'll get the ball back. But no timeouts to go, and an offense that has not done much.
Maryland number 35 is now wearing number 96.
Corey Durden made the play for NC State. All ACC nose tackle. Spangler will kick for Maryland, and Thayer Thomas waits at the 20. Fair catch is made at the 25. 75 yards to go. If NC State's going to win this game, they'll need a touchdown, something they do not have today. 4 field goals, only 3 points in the 2nd half. No run game to speak of, and Maryland has been playing coverage for the better part of this game.
They certainly have. It's been really tough to move this football in this Maryland defense today. But for quarterback Ben Finley making his 2nd career start, you would say, hey, this might be too big of a moment. Well, it's not, because his 1st career start came against arch rival North Carolina, found a way to win on the road in double overtime. He's made for this moment.
He'll sling it downfield, and that might be intercepted. Picked off by Jacorian Bennett. 2nd pick of the season. They picked on the DB, who leads all Power 5 players in passes defended over the last 2 years.
Listen, I get it. You get good on good. You have Daryl Jones, your senior graduate go-to wide receiver on the outside, but he just so happens to be going against the best corner in Jacorian Bennett. That's a big-time matchup out there, but Jacorian Bennett was not going to be denied the honorable mention All Big Ten corner coming up with the play of the game for the Maryland Terrapins.
5th career interception. NC State out of timeouts, and Maryland can see the finish line. Get ready, Mike Locksley.
What a play. Big-time players make big-time plays on big-time stages, and that's exactly what Jacorian Bennett just did for his football team.
A couple on first down. No more timeouts for the Wolfpack, and Maryland will let this clock bleed. Andrea, people are getting excited. The anticipation is near.
The anticipation is definitely rising. The Maryland fans are up. I've already had a couple people scream at me, where's the Mayo? Where's the Mayo bath? And just to remind everyone, Coach Locksley is going to wear a big hat. It's a Maryland alumni that makes the big hats. They're good friends, so the big hat will make its appearance for the Mayo bath.
You know, we asked Mike Locksley, hey, is that cheating? And he said, listen, I like a little mayo, but that's a lot of mayo that's going on the noggin. Hemby again. Third down coming up. Now Roman Hemby may end up falling just a little shy of 1,000 yards. Third down and 6. And they can take this play clock all the way down to under a minute. Terps can win back-to-back bowl games and back-to-back seasons for the first time in almost 20 years, 2002, 2003. Littleton hammerheads through the defense. He's going to be a little short according to the initial spot. Nope, they say he got it. And that clinches it for Maryland.
What a tough run there by Littleton. Baby Bus came to campus at 299 pounds, currently playing at 235, was playing in that fullback position just there on that last play. Takes that initial contact and grinds out. Final first down. So Maryland can get into the best formation in football. Victory.
The Terps win it. How about Mayo and Locks? Maryland with its 8th win of the season, 16-12, the final score. Mike Locksley will share the post-game embrace with Dave Doran before he sits in the chair. Tonight's Capital One player of the game, Octavian Smith. The only touchdown of the game, the difference in the game, it came in the first half. Switch over to the app to watch the Mayo dump. South Carolina and Notre Dame, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl is coming up next here on ESPN. For Brock Osweiler, for Andrea Carter, I'm Anish Shroff. Mike Locksley gets ready to get bathed in 4 gallons of mayonnaise. A fitting end to the most perfect bowl game. Welcome to the ESPN app post-game presented by Capital One. The festivities and the Mayo about to begin, but first, this message.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, like 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling. You're being too loud. Thank you. Good choice. My lucky number.
Earn 5 times miles on flights.
Enjoy your stay. Going up?
And 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. Plus, get access to over 1,300 airport lounges.
White wine, please.
And maybe see the one and only Taylor Swift. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Anish Shroff, Brock Osweiler, Andrea Carter about to MC the events on the field. As we're looking down, Mike Locksley moments ago was wearing the oversized, they call them the Big Boss noggin hats. It's an oversized baseball cap, and that's for protection.
It certainly is, and it's tremendous. It's tremendous, just like Mike Locksley's defense played today.
Yeah.
It was incredible. The defensive effort by Maryland was one of a kind. There was nowhere to run the football for NC State, and for them, with a quarterback that was making a second career start, you want to rely on a run game. There was no run game to be had.
No run game to be had, and Maryland's defense stepped up. This was a team that came into this game, so much chatter about their offense, about their quarterback, about their wide receivers, many of whom didn't play today. They won today with defense.
They certainly did, and credit both teams. You know, I know NC State, they didn't finish the year exactly how they wanted to, but the way both of those defense went out there and played today, it showed so much heart, so much passion. It showed the grittiness of these two programs. And then for Maryland, cornerback Jacorian Bennett making the big play at the end of the game, coming up with an interception to seal it. What a heck of a defensive effort today.
We're stalling until they're ready on the field. Let's take a look at the Capital One rewarding performance. There was only one touchdown in the game. That was Octavian Smith, somebody who had a bigger role today. Without C.J. Dupree in the lineup, without some of the other receivers in the lineup, he made the catch of the game. That was the difference.
Octavian Smith, you're exactly right. Really stepped up in the first half, making a big-time play on a man-to-man, big box fade, winning the one-on-one matchup, bringing down the touchdown pass before halftime, and it really ended up just being the difference in the ball game.
All right, time to get you to what you've been waiting for, the post-game trophy ceremony, which will be followed by the dumping of 4 gallons of mayonnaise on the noggin of Maryland head coach Mike Locksley. We send it down to Andrea Carter.
Brock, Anish, thank you so much. And first and foremost, I just want to give everybody a good opportunity. Everyone in the crowd, can we please give a round of applause for NC State on a tough fight and a great season? And now we can give a big round of applause to the Duke's Mayo Bowl champions, the Maryland Terrapins. Now I'm going to introduce the executive director of the Charlotte Sports Foundation to hand the trophy, Danny Morrison, to Coach Locksley. The Mayo's coming. The Mayo's coming. Don't you worry. Coach, they're ready for you to get the Mayo. They're ready for you to get the Mayo. But first, have to ask you, Coach, this is the first time that Maryland has won back-to-back bowl games in almost 20 years. What does this mean for the program?
You know what? Number one, I got to thank the seniors, man. And we got some that are here. We got some that decided not to play in the game. But those seniors laid the foundation for what just took place. And I can't thank them enough. I want to thank Terp Nation. I got to thank my boss, Damon and Colleen, President Pine. It is a team effort at Maryland. It's all about family. And I'm going to tell you right now, this would not have happened if it wasn't for these guys and those seniors, man. Just can't be more happy for a group of guys.
Well, you just mentioned this wouldn't have happened and what went down on the field. How would you describe what went down? What were the keys to beating NC State today?
You know what? This is how we've lived all season long, right on the edge. It's always been tough. It's always been hard, but we're used to it as Terps. We don't want it easy. I'd like us to do it and make it a little easier, but this team has shown resiliency all year long. We've had our bumps, our bruises, but they kept fighting. And when we had a chance to do it, our defense played their butts off, held them to field goals. Offensively, we did just enough. And you know what? All the credits to this team.
Well, you all absolutely got it done. I know you mentioned the seniors, but when we talked this week, you talked about this game being a springboard for the future and for next season. How would you describe the way your young guys played today?
You know what? We had the passing of the torch. You know, everybody knows we had some great receivers that played here. I saw those young guys like Punch Knots, who came home, show up and make some plays. I saw guys like Corey Coley. The passing of the torch took place today, and we will use this game to springboard us forward, and we're going to start competing for some championships around here. It's time to do that.
It is also time to introduce the MVP. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
And to hand off the MVP trophy, I'm going to introduce the president of Duke's Mayonnaise, Joe Tusa. And the MVP trophy goes to, Coach mentioned the seniors. Defensive back, Jacorian Bennett, is the MVP of the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Play. This is what happens when a senior comes back and finishes right here. Yes,
sir. Listen, we were going to interview you anyway, but your teammates want a speech. So, Coach talked about seniors coming back to play, and the NFL draft is next for you. It's already in sight, but why did you choose to come back and play in the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
This is why I stayed right here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we had to finish. We had one more game, and I owed it to these guys. I thank the coaches, I thank the players, I thank everybody, man, because I wouldn't be here without them. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank Coach Locke for giving me the opportunity to come out here and just do what I do. But, hey, we the champs now, baby. That's why I came back.
And I see your quarterback, Talia. He's, dapping you up, giving you a congratulations, and all on the sidelines. Everybody had so much energy for each other. How would you describe the brotherhood that is the Maryland Terrapins?
Hey, that's what kept us going. This season was up and down, but, the grit and just the brotherhood with us, that's what got us to where we needed to be. So without these guys, man, we wouldn't even be here. It was a four-quarter game, like Locke said. And so without these guys pushing each other, picking me up, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't be here. But now, you see.
I want to give you a chance to brag on yourself because the interception is what sealed the deal. What'd you see on that play? How'd you make that play?
Hey, I was just doing what Coach Baker told me to do. Hey, I seen the ball, get the ball. That's what they told me. So we had to go get it.
See the ball, get the ball, Maryland. Congratulations on being the Duke's Mayo Bowl champions. Coach, it's time for some mayo for you. Let's go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. So,
Take this mayo, man. I just want to get the mic to you.
there will be a check presentation. Joe Tusa will present the check to Coach Loxley.
Will, we're going to cut you right there. Hold everyone behind you, please. Beside you. Yep, you're good.
Coach, the people want to know, first of all, where did you get this hat?
So Noggin Boss, one of our former players, Sean Starner, some of y'all may have saw him on Shark Tank when he presented these hats. Noggin Boss, this is part of my NIL deal. I know this is the year of NIL. I figured this would be a great cover for me as we get ready to get this Mayo dunked.
And then the ultimate question, you mentioned the Mayo dunk. How are you feeling right now?
I grew up on that movie Undercover Brother. I'm not really into a lot of Mayo like that, but I'll take a little bit.
For the win, you'll take it.
For the win, I'll do anything for a win to a degree.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Was it the players, Coach?
Pause, everybody. Pause. Pause.
Coach, was it the players that convinced you to take this off? Is that what you did it for?
Gotta do it, man. I thought they were done, but they saved some for the hat off.
So how does it feel to be covered in Duke's mayonnaise?
You know what? Prior to this game, I gotta tell you, I didn't know a lot about Duke's Mayo, but I can tell you what, man. For them giving $10,000 to a foundation of my choice, maybe our the Best is Ahead Foundation, maybe to the National Coalition of Minority Football Coaches, I thank them for their support. What a great bowl game they put on, and thanks for the Mayo bath. It's good for my complexion. Good for my complexion.
A great bowl game and a great performance from your guys. Coach, congratulations again.
Thank you again. Go Terps! I don't want to do that to you.
You look good, sir. You look good. It's good for your hair. So I'm gonna ask someone to take that picture.
What's up, girl? Oh, so this Mayo. Where'd you get the hat from?
Thank you.